Yeah.
Okay, so hi everyone who isn't watching yet, but here I am live, just sort of impromptually, but sort of planned late last night. Michael's here. How you doing, Mike?
Hello. I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. So, what's been going on in your world?
Not a lot. I've been planning content months in advance. I already have October's videos, just one more to record for. And then I have all of September's videos planned out and all of October's videos planned out. So
Wow.
just 2 more months to plan out, but I'm waiting for the when we get announced for the release dates for the 60th anniversary to then plan out November and December.
Okay, cool. So you recently hit 3,000 subs, which is great. 3,000.
Yeah, 300.
I've not been up there.
Current.
Forgive me.
Current count is 315.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool. Oh,
Yeah.
that's jumped up quickly.
Yep.
That's great.
Surprisingly.
No.
Yeah,
that's...
according to Social Blade, in 4 months is when it says I'll hit 400. So around November.
Well, Social Blades, it sort of bases it on current trends, doesn't it?
Current growth, yeah. It measures it off your current growth.
I had really good growth a little while ago, and it said that I was going to be at something like, I don't know, 19 or 20,000 in a few years' time. That's never going to be the case. That's like wishful thinking. And it has slowed down now a bit. It's sort of up, very up and down at the moment, but there we go. So it's great to have you on again. Sorry about it was when did I blow out? Was it last week? I can't remember. All I know
last week, yeah, it was last week. Which is grand, it doesn't bother me. It just meant I could sleep in.
Yeah, I've just had I had lots of migraines going on, things like that. Wait a minute, I just want to forward the link to Matt. I've got to find it. Where's my? Not that he's probably busy anyway, but just out of kindness, shall we say? He works via Instagram for that sort of thing, doesn't he? So I've got to send it through that. So just bear with me.
It's grand. I'm also sharing out the stream on my community post.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I didn't make a big deal out of it or anything. I didn't even set it up till like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I couldn't be bothered last night. I was just so tired. Roy, what's the latest thing you've watched, Michael?
If we're talking movies, the last thing I watched was a rewatch of the Men in Black trilogy.
Okay, all right. And how did they stand up for you?
Well, I hadn't seen the first two in over a decade at this point because I grew up on the first two. And then on first watch, I hated Men in Black 3. But after a couple of years, I was watching clips. I was like, maybe this isn't as bad as I once thought. Let me give it another shot. And so the first one is still the best of the original trilogy. The second one, even though it's the first one that I watched as a kid and has that sentimental feeling towards it, it is literally just a carbon copy of the first one, just with the roles reversed with Agent K and Agent J and with a different alien species. And then Men in Black 3 really actually enjoyed better than the first time I watched it.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, obviously the first one is a classic to me. It's based on a Marvel comic book. Did you know that?
I am aware. Yeah, I'm aware of that. As well as after the first movie, it even spawned a cartoon series.
Yeah, it was actually a comic book company called Malibu, which was an imprint of Marvel. So not like Marvel mainstream or anything like that, but the third, I can't remember much about the second one at all, but the third one I really enjoyed when it came about. I thought Josh Brolin done a fantastic job
he really did.
Of the Tommy Lee Jones character. You know, almost indistinguishable.
Yeah.
You know, that was. You know, in today's society, in today's world, society. I was going to say society. I don't know why, but in today's world, that would be Tommy Lee Jones made younger by
Digital
CGI.
aging.
But you know, yeah, he was spot on.
Yep, like I said, I've thoroughly enjoyed my rewatch of it, which I'm happy to say that, you know, there are movies out there that I can come back to that I might not like on first viewing and have a completely different opinion on.
Yeah. I myself, I watched last night. I watched Mission Impossible. Still MI. You watched MIB. I watched MI. Yeah, I watched first Mission Impossible last night.
All right, how was it?
I haven't seen it for a long time. It was all right. It's. Have you seen the Mission Impossibles?
Nope.
Okay, well, the first two are very much obviously part 7's just opened in the cinema, as you know.
Yeah.
The first two are completely different toned movies than I mean, even the second one's completely different tone than the first one, took a completely different direction. And then it wasn't until part 3 that the series sort of found what it's doing now.
Yeah.
So part 3, to be honest, it's probably the I would say part 3 is a good jumping on point to the series if you were interested in them and not seen them. Yeah, I would yeah. It's yeah, it was all right. It was all right though, but it's funny watching it because, you know, Tom Cruise. You know, there's at the end of the film, not to spoil it, there's a scene on a train on one of the you know, Eurotunnel, Eurostar type trains, high speed links, and there's a fight atop one of them, and it's all done special effects wise and CG, and you're watching it and it just doesn't feel right because you know you'd be looking at it thinking, I know now that if this was redone again today, Tom Cruise would want to be doing this for real.
Oh yeah, he's an adrenaline junkie when it comes to doing his own stunts. I mean, fair fucks to him.
So no, I've got to take my hat off to him. Interestingly, you know, the stunt, you've probably seen the stunt, it's been everywhere, for the new film where he takes the bike off of the cliff top in
they use that a lot in the promotional for the movie.
That was actually the first thing they filmed. That was their first thing they filmed for the movie, which kind of makes sense because, you know, you don't want
had something gone wrong.
Yeah, you can at least say, we haven't wasted the time and money filming the rest of the movie to do this bit last, and then he goes and dies. So let's film it first, just in case.
Yeah.
That little insurance.
For August, I'm doing something completely new. That being, for 3 weeks in August, I'm covering 3 different movie trilogies. The first one I'm doing is the original Star Wars trilogy, which, as you know, means I'm going to have to do a re-review of my 200 subscriber special and actually give a proper explanation of why I don't like Empire, which I hopefully did do this time around. Then, for a trilogy that I haven't seen before, I decided to watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy for the very first time.
Okay, all right, interesting, cool.
The non-extended edition, the theatrical edition, because fucked me if I'm sitting through 12 hours just for 3 fucking movies. I barely got through 9 hours for these movies. No one told me they were going to be 3 hours long. I had to find out the hard way.
Saying you barely got through them is not a good sign.
I liked them. Don't get me wrong. I did love them. I instantly fell in love. But I done it in such quick succession. Like, I watched all 3 of the movies within the span of 24 hours, 24, 25 hours.
Okay, well, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never done that with Lord of the Rings. Hi, Martin. How you doing? Martin's coming
Morning.
on next Sunday.
Oh, nice.
Great. Yep, superb. Um,
Hmm.
Hope you're well, Martin. Yeah, Lord of the Rings. Now, when that first came out, I didn't want to go and see it, the first one, I'll be honest, because I'm not big
Yeah.
on wizards and
Hmm.
fantasy. That kind of fantasy genre is not something that I gravitate towards. Movies like Willow, which I see as being the same sort of films.
Yeah.
Saying that, Willow was exactly pretty much the same film as Lord of the Rings. Willow, it's not for me. Harry Potter's I've never been into anything with wizards, but I did take myself
Hmm.
to see the first Lord of the Rings. It had been out for probably about a month, and I was on my own. I was up in London's Leicester Square, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go see it. I'm just going to go in and see it, and it was a brilliant film.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
loved it. In my opinion, Fellowship to me is the best of the trilogy.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It was a great film. I wouldn't recommend you visit the Hobbit trilogy though.
Yeah, I've been on the fence on that one because I know in my local CEX they have this really nice uh 3D Blu-ray set of the first Hobbit movie for like €4,
Oh
and
yeah,
I
yeah,
looked into it. Like, there's multiple discs with it,
yeah.
so I've been hemming and hawing on whether or not I'm actually going to pick that one up.
Um, uh, I think it's all right on the first. I think they're all right on the first watch,
Mm.
but they don't hold a candle to Lord of the Rings trilogy at
Yeah.
all.
I mean, The Hobbit was supposed to be just one book that they, for some odd reason, decided, let's make it a trilogy.
Well, that's the reason. Money.
Yeah.
It was the problem I had with it. I think 'cause I don't mind Martin Freeman as an actor. I quite like
Mm.
Martin Freeman. I can watch
Yeah.
him. The problem I had with it was there was no. Okay, in the first Lord of the Rings, you can sort of gravitate towards characters like Boromir and what was the main guy's name again? I can't remember it.
Frodo.
No, the main human guy. The one who became
Aragon.
Aragorn. That's it.
Yeah.
You can gravitate towards them because they're like a human element.
Yeah.
You could associate with them in a sense, and they can lead you through the story. But the Hobbit hasn't got none of that element to it. I think in the second one they introduced a human character played by Luke something. Oh my god, my mind. He was in Beauty and the Beast. He was the bad guy in Beauty and the Beast live action one.
All right.
Luke Evans, is it?
I don't know.
I think that's the name. Anyway, I might be wrong. But they didn't do much with him. So there's not this human connection. So you're watching hobbits and dwarves on the journey, and there's just. But also, it's heavily CGI'd. Whereas the first film utilized a lot of practical effects, beautiful landscapes, and the Hobbit trilogy relied heavily on CGI usage, and it's not so good.
You see, when the Hobbit, I remember thinking when the Hobbit movies came out, having at that time, not watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and seeing Martin Freeman as Bilbo Baggins, I was just thinking, wow, Hollywood is really trying to capitalize on not only him but Benedict Cumberbatch because of the popularity of Sherlock. That's the only reason, in my mind, that's the only reason why he got that role. Was to try and get the Sherlock fans to watch it because he's in it.
Yeah, well, I think they saw the two of them as up and coming talent. That and would you like to see a return of Sherlock?
I would, but I definitely need to rewatch this series because it's been a number of years since I rewatched the first 3 seasons, and I haven't rewatched the 4th one since it came out. So I can't remember how bad season 4 is. But I keep meaning to, but I have a massive backlog to get through before I can think about doing it.
Did you ever try Elementary?
I did, because you see, my mother, when she was alive, she was a massive Sherlock Holmes fan, and she watched all of those. To her, the best actor to play Sherlock was Jeremy Brett.
Yeah, he was very good back in the day.
Yeah, and I actually have a funny story with that. I went to my local library a couple of years back, and I was looking at what movies they had, and I noticed that they had a classic Doctor Who DVD. I'm like, oh, well, now I kind of want to keep this, but I know my mother's not going to let me. Let me see what they have here and what I can use to my advantage to get her to allow me to keep it. Lo and behold, a box set of Jeremy Brett Sherlock Holmes. I'm like, that's it. That's my bargaining chip. And so as I left before going home, I rang her to say, hey, I'm on the way home. From the library, I found something that I kind of want to keep. She's like, no, you're not keeping it. I'm like, hold on. I did find something for you, though. She's like, there's nothing in that library that would make me allow you to keep it. What about Jeremy Brett Sherlock Holmes? We'll talk about it when you get home. So I get home, I show her the classic Doctor Who DVD, I hand her the Jeremy Brett Sherlock box set. As I'm talking through my thought process of using that as a bargaining trip, she rips off the barcode in the back from the libraries, and she's like, oh, well, I guess we're keeping these now.
Shocking. So what did you do? Did you get fined for that or something, or have to pay a lot, or did you just not return to the library?
I just didn't return. I didn't return to the library.
So you still got outstanding late fees?
On multiple library accounts, yes. Because I use the same first name, different last name.
Oh, dear. The truth comes out. Michael ripping off local libraries.
Yeah.
That's funny. Have you still got that Doctor Who DVD?
I still have the Doctor Who DVD, not the Jeremy Brett Sherlock Holmes, though.
Well,
I think I traded it in not long after my mom died.
Okay.
Let's see. It was The Edge of Destruction.
Okay. There we go. There's the offending item. Don't worry. I'm not clean. I'm not morally clean in that sense. Anyway, let's have a look. So Martin says the Lord of the Rings extended version is definitely worth the watch. Worth just watch one at a time, digest, then move on. Extended scenes do fill in some gaps, especially with Gollum.
Yeah,
I do agree. They are great.
Ever since I said, oh yeah, I've watched the Lord of the Rings, I have no plan to watch the extended edition. Every single Lord of the Ring fan is like, watch the extended edition. And the more they keep pushing it, the same way people keep pushing me to watch Die Hard, which is not a Christmas movie, I refuse to.
I agree. Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie, but I think Christmas is a good reason to put it on. I think Die Hard is a film that's been adopted by Christmas.
Yes, it definitely has, and the same with the first couple of Harry Potter films. If Die Hard counts as a Christmas movie, then so should Iron Man 3, and so should Star Trek Generations.
Well, I'd argue that. What's the first one you said then?
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3. I'd say that Die Hard has more Christmas in its DNA than those. I mean, it's almost every scene in Die Hard has Christmas theme in it. More so than them. I can see why, but I think Die Hard's are just for me. Die Hard is a film that you can watch all year round. It doesn't have to be Christmas, but Christmas is a good excuse to get a yearly watching. Have you seen Die Hard?
No.
Oh,
I point blankly refuse to watch it because of the fans. Them constantly. It's the argument of, is it a Christmas movie? Is it not a Christmas movie? And fans get very passionate about it. And when they start acting like that, that's what makes me not want to watch it. It's the same reason it took me so long to get into Steven Universe, because of how toxic the fandom is. And even there's an anime called My Hero Academia. I refuse to touch with a 10-foot pole because of how bad that anime community is with that one.
Yeah, but what you need to do is go into Die Hard and forget the fan base, forget what they say, forget any Christmas. Don't even go into it thinking to yourself, is it a Christmas film? Isn't it a Christmas film? It is a genre defining movie that if we didn't have it, we wouldn't have had so many other movies come along after it. That's how you should see it. It's a genre defining film that set the stage for decades of action movies to come. And it's a really good film. It's been my top 10, most definitely.
Yeah. Get me to 400 subscribers and then I'll watch it.
Well, it ain't my job to get you to 400 subscribers.
I'm just throwing this out into the ether. Get me to 400 subscribers. I will watch Die Hard then, and only then.
See, he's holding a gun. He's holding us to ransom, folks who are watching. Michael you heard it. If he gets to 400 subscribers, he'll watch Die Hard. He's refusing flat out to watch it because of toxicity within the fan base. Who here reckons Michael should watch Die Hard? So if you haven't subscribed to him, go and subscribe to him, because we need to get him to 400 now, because I want him to watch Die Hard. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to hold a classic film to ransom for every 100 subs.
I did it before with Star Wars Episode 5. I can do it again.
Yeah, okay. You better get watching. So Martin, hi Martin, how are you doing? Asks, have you guys seen Krull? Now, I'm assuming, I'm going to answer for Michael. You haven't seen Krull, have you?
No.
No. Okay, it's an old film. It's an old film. And all I can say, Martin, is that, yes, I have seen Krull. Can I remember anything about it? No, because I would have been a young lad at the time.
400 years ago.
400 years ago, cheeky little sod. Video Tasties, Gareth says the Hobbit trilogy is a slog to get through. I've lost him. There he is. The Hobbit trilogy is. I tried again a few months ago and I switched it off. The first one. I've got this trilogy. I've got still tin box set. I switched it off. Oh look who's here. Hey.
Hey, Ian. Hello. I just saw your message. Hey, I just saw your message. I thought, try it out.
How are you doing, Ian? You all right?
Yeah, I'm not bad. I'm all right. Yeah. It's really grand.
I thought I'd send the link out to you because I know I blew you out last week because I weren't feeling too good.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's all right. Yeah.
So I didn't know whether you would pick it up or not. So we were just, I don't know if you heard the chat, but Michael was saying that if he gets to 400 subscribers, he will watch Die Hard, which is a film that he hasn't seen.
Oh, all right.
And only the first one. I'm not going to touch the sequels.
Now, it's interesting because last year I saw it for the first time. All these years. And I had low expectations because I thought, well, everybody's going on about it. And, I went in there not really thinking I really like it because I thought, well, and I loved it. It's a great film.
There you go.
Honestly, I bought it after I'd watched it straight away.
There you go.
It's a really grand film. It is. It's really good. It's just got everything works well in it, and Bruce Willis is fantastic. I like Bruce Willis as an actor. I've liked him in a lot of things. The things that like 12 Monkeys, and he's got a really good side to him in his acting. And
he's got good range. He has got good range. Yeah.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. So there's no reason why you shouldn't like it. Really.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, 400 subscribers, get me to it. I'll watch it. I know it's a cheap Blu-ray pickup for me. I think it's like €4 for it on Blu-ray. So I'll keep an eye out for it just in case.
So, Ian, do you when you came to watch it, did you realise how sort of defining it was for an era of action?
Yeah.
How it opened the door for all these other movies?
I think what it is that I've still got this. I've got a lot of films. I've been trying to get through them that are classic films that everybody talks about, and that is one that is mentioned all the time. It's like the Mad Max ones I watched for the first time this year. I managed to get to. There's certain films, and it's getting to them, and it's like it's like Michael. I noticed you watched Godfather, which is a film.
Yes,
people have been talking about. It's one of them films that's talked about a lot. And you got round to it. So,
well, that's because I left it up to a vote for my audience, because I initially it was supposed to be a Tales from My Backlog on The Pursuit of Happiness. But prior to that, I had already was supposed to do Good Morning Vietnam, which I switched off after the first 30 minutes. I'm like, as I was thinking more about The Pursuit of Happiness, I'm like, I got a funny feeling I'm going to do the same thing. So instead of where I picked Starship Troopers to replace Good Morning Vietnam, I was like, let me pick 4 movies out of my collection. This was before I downsized my collection a bit. Let me pick 4 movies that I haven't seen and put it as a poll. Let's see what people want me to watch. Give the audience the opportunity to pick for once. And a large, I think it was like 63% of the vote was for The Godfather. And I'm happy that I finally got around to watching it because I really enjoyed it. It's not in the top 10 best movies ever made, in my opinion. I would put it somewhere in like the top 30. But I am keeping an eye out for The Godfather Part 2. To eventually add into the collection and eventually watch, like I've been doing with the Predator movies and the Rocky series.
Yeah. Now that's interesting. I've not talked about this. Well, I might have hinted a long time ago, but the Rocky films. Now, way back in the day, I watched Rocky and wasn't really that impressed with it. I know this goes against all the great. Everybody loves Rocky. Everybody I know. So I thought, I looked and it's on Prime. So I watched it. I tried to watch it again. I switched it off. Now, for me to switch a film off is hardly ever happens. And I've not talked about it because I know virtually everybody loves Rocky. I don't know why. It just didn't.
So what made you switch it off? What wasn't working for you?
It just won't work. This don't have to. I was bored. I was
fair enough. It's all subjective.
It's controversial because everybody loves Rocky. I don't know anybody. So now I'm out. I've been outed.
It's okay, Ian. Compared to me, not liking Rocky is just tame compared to all the movies that I do not like, which, as AJ said once, is well documented in my YouTube lore of the movies that I do not like.
Yes.
As a Yorkshireman,
there's still some that I don't like that I haven't mentioned.
As a Yorkshireman, I've got to look positive. So I'd say, well, it saves me some brass. I don't have to buy all. There's loads of buggers, isn't there? I mean, is there about 5 or 6 Rocky films? And then there's the Creed films. I suppose he appears in Creed ones, doesn't it? First couple of them.
In the first 2.
The first 2, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I don't like boxing films, mate.
It might be.
Because I like that De Niro one. Everybody raves over that one. Which one's the De Niro film?
Raging Bull.
A lot of people rage about that. Say how good it is, and I couldn't watch that. I just didn't.
Stallone and De Niro did actually do a boxing film of their own called Grudge Match.
Oh, really?
Where they're go against each other in the ring.
What's that like then? Is it that
grudge match? I enjoyed it when I saw it. I can't remember much of it. But I remember enjoying it. I remember, you know, I liked Stallone's work. So, and De Niro. I like De Niro.
Yeah.
So have the
But
two
it's
of them.
interesting because you don't like martial arts.
I don't
and,
know.
And everybody will say Bruce Lee is, you know, Bruce Lee at the moment with the release of all that film. And also, there's I noticed there has been a big surge in people talking about martial arts films, aren't there? There's a lot of releases now.
Yes.
So that's interesting because you're like going against what a lot of people like, don't they?
It's just a genre that's never appealed to me. I don't really like these sort of and I don't mean it's in a bad way or anything. I don't really like the sort of Asian aesthetic of stuff. It just, you know, their dress, the aesthetic of their culture doesn't really intrigue me in any way. So aesthetically, the films don't really speak to me, and just, I don't know, just not one for you know, martial arts. Really, it's just never really appealed. It's one of those things, isn't it? We'll like what we like, and don't what we don't.
What about you, Michael? Do you like martial arts?
Well, some. You know, I grew up on the first Karate Kid movie and, you know, some late Jackie Chan films, as well as, you know, Kung Fu Panda and all that. But I haven't really gone back and looked at the classics, you know, some of Jackie Chan's early works or even Bruce Lee. I haven't seen any Bruce Lee films at all. I might dabble into that in the future if I find some of them for cheap. I might pick them up and give them a whirl at some point. But yeah, I mainly like to stick to like I said, the Kung Fu Panda universe, or even the Karate Kid / Cobra Kai universe. I mean, it's pretty self-evident that I love Cobra Kai, given the fact that I have a poster right there.
That's never appealed to me, really. I've seen you know, I don't know whether I've seen The Karate Kid, and that's a popular film, isn't it?
Highly recommend it. You might like it.
I would give it a watch.
Because
I think I might do that.
Young Ralph Macchio is amazing. Same as with Pat Morita as Mr. Miyagi. I love I love the 4 movies plus the Cobra Kai series. I actually recently, because I just noticed the time, my weekly pickup video's gone live. This week I picked up all 4 Karate Kid movies on DVD for €1. Even though I already have the first Karate Kid on Blu-ray and VHS. So now I've got it on almost every medium out there.
Yeah, I mean,
unintentionally.
It's a good show, and I even gravitate towards that, but not because of the martial arts aspect. It's more to do with the writing of the characters and things like that.
Yeah.
The martial arts side of it is sort of secondary to that for me. You know, it kind of steps away from that and does go into a sort of realm of melodrama. I do find it very fantastical, though, in the sense that, you know, you've got this rivalry that's like almost warlike between all these factions in it.
Yeah,
it just goes over. I was just thinking, this is stupid. It's fun, but it's stupid when you look at it like that. That you've got these rival karate
dojos. Yeah.
It's just
have you got the Karate Kid then in your collection?
I do have the Karate Kids. Yes.
I don't. I haven't actually seen. Apart from the poster that I have and the Karate Kid itself, I don't think I've actually seen any physical media for Cobra Kai in the wild in where I live.
Yeah, they released 1, 2, and I want to say season 3 on Blu-ray. 1, 2, and 3. We've had 5 seasons thus far, haven't we?
Yeah, with the 6th one hopefully happening when the final season, hopefully when, you know, the writer strike and the actors finally get what they deserve.
So they released 1, 2, and 3 on Blu-ray. 1 and 2 were together in one box, and they released season 3. And then beyond that, they didn't have Blu-ray release, just DVD release.
All right. Well, at least they still actually released it. Because I remember when Cobra Kai came about, it was originally a YouTube Red original series, back when YouTube tried to dabble into the Netflix side of things, which YouTube Red ended up evolving into the YouTube free premium, which now all those YouTube Red shows that was locked behind that paywall are now thankfully free to watch. And I think including the first 2 seasons of Cobra Kai on YouTube.
Okay, all right. I don't know. Let's get through some comments. So Martin says 2 Towers extended and Return of the King extended do add to the films, but maybe not as much as The Fellowship.
Okay.
Danny is here. Hi, AJ Michael. You were when he didn't put your name in because you weren't in the chat then when he sent that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Now then, Gareth, are you still crying into your coffee over the Hugh Edwards controversy? Yes, I didn't get paid for my pictures. Physical meat. Danny says, I saw Spawn in the British Heart Foundation for 50p and didn't pick it up. Have you seen Spawn?
No.
Okay. It's a. Do you know of it?
I've heard of it in the past couple of years.
Yeah, it's a film from, I want to say it's 98. Is it 98?
You've got a lot of figures, haven't you, Spawn? You've got a massive amount of figures.
Yeah. It's a it's based on a comic property by
97. That's when the movie came out, 97.
Give me a sec. Give me one sec. Because I'm going to have something here, which is that is sort of spawny, but that's not. All right, so Spawn is a character created by comic book artist and writer Todd McFarlane, and he used to be a Marvel writer and artist, and he originally started his time on Incredible Hulk, and the sales on it soared on Incredible Hulk, and then he was given Spider-Man as Marvel's flagship character to do, and he was artist and that on Spider-Man. He helped create the character of Venom, and he had a fallout with Marvel because Marvel make all this money off of them for characters that they create and they get nothing for it, like Venom. And he split aside and created his own comic company called Image. The second ever comic published by Image was Spawn, and this was in mid-90s, and probably about 95, I think, and it's still going strong today. It's in like issue 300 and something, and Todd McFarlane, the creator of it, he has sort of stepped. He does still help out with the comic, but he also created toy company McFarlane Toys.
Yes, that's where I've heard of Todd McFarlane, because especially in the retro gaming community, his toys are very sought after by a lot of people because of how fantastic they look. He does fantastic molding on his on every action figure that he makes, and I wish I could own some of the McFarlane toys because they look so good.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Ian, you've shown some toys of your own in the lines of Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, I've got that. Yeah.
Now, I believe
is that the same maker? Yeah.
Yeah, they right now Freddy Krueger toys and things like that are done by NECA, but prior to NECA having them, when they were called Movie Maniacs, I think that might be what you've got. Movie Maniacs, they were made by McFarlane Toys, and and he created a toy brand that basically started to rival, the big toy brands, because what he done with the detailing on those figures, as you've seen, because you've got some, they're, do you know what I mean? The detailing, the sculpts are fantastic. Second to none. It's and Spawn was a film based on his character. It wasn't a very good film. It's I wouldn't recommend it, but it's a film one of those films that I sort of love to hate. I love it, but it's so bad. It's an abysmal film. But
is there plans to remake it?
Sorry,
is there plans to remake that? Because they're always looking to remake films, aren't they?
Yeah, the primary issue with it is that it's a creator-owned product. When Image Comics came about, each creator that went to Image, whatever they created, they would retain the rights of. Unlike under Marvel, whatever you recreate becomes a Marvel character. Like I said, Venom was essentially created by Todd McFarlane. He ain't got no rights to Venom whatsoever. And look how big the character Venom. And so Spawn, he retains the rights to. So it's up to him what happens with that character in any other medium, in anything. He's the sole. And last thing I heard is that they wanted to do a remake, and he wanted to direct, which I don't agree with. I don't think Todd McFarlane. I think you're setting yourself up for failure if McFarlane himself was directing. I think you should get an established director, someone who knows what they're doing.
And just have him as like a creative consultant on the project.
You're doing it this. I want it done this way. I mean, look what happened with Spirit, the movie The Spirit. I don't know if you've seen that. Much akin to Sin City, done in the same style as Sin City. All black and white and looks like just comic book on screen. Now, Sin City, the film, was directed by Robert Rodriguez with Frank Miller, who was the creator of Sin City, the comic book. He's labelled as a part director as well, I believe, on it, but it was Robert Rodriguez. And then after that, Frank Miller got this hots for directing and directed Spirit, which was just a complete, he should never have been given the directing job. And I think I'd say the same for McFarlane. I'd be worried if they said McFarlane's directing this. I mean, you may get everything right tonally and aesthetically, but I don't think you get a well-directed movie, a well-paced film. But the character looks cool. And I do get the toys. He's a cool character.
You got a lot of them. I notice you've collected because there's different sort of aspects to Spawn, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of characters from their spin-off characters as well, because there's several versions of Spawn. And also there's a Mortal Kombat. He's prevalent in the Mortal Kombat games now as a playable character.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And where McFarlane Toys make the Mortal Kombat toys as well, obviously each version of the Spawn, different outfits, different type of Spawn that's available in the games gets a toy release, and I'm quite happy to grab them as well as a sort of variant Spawn.
What's Mortal Kombat like? Because I've heard a lot of people mention Mortal Kombat. What's that?
Well, initially it was a video game that came out on the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis or Mega Drive for us. And it's one of the few games responsible for video games having to have an age rating put on games, because prior to that they had none. So parents could be buying games that were like rated for 18s, had no rating. They didn't know, and because the way that was. But they did make. They've made, I think, at least 3 movies, a bunch of animated movies, but 4 live action movies. Sorry, they done one in '95, which wasn't that great. I grew up on it. I loved it. To me, the first Mortal Kombat movie is really, really good. I switched off the sequel to it though, halfway through it.
Is it like a competition of Is it like
Kind of.
people fighting? Is it like? No, this is. I don't know much about games, but my son, I remember him playing. Is it Street Fighter?
Street Fighter, yeah.
Is it kind of like that? Sort of competition, yeah.
It came about as a sort of, say, a knockoff of Street Fighter.
An arcade, yeah. It was a knockoff because of how popular Street Fighter was in the arcades. Konami, no, was it Konami? I forget who's the main company behind Mortal Kombat, but they saw that success and were like, hey, let's make our own version of it. So they made the arcade version of it. Then it got released on Super Nintendo and Mega Drive, and then blew up in popularity again because of the whole issue. Like on the Super Nintendo version, it was heavily edited, so there was no blood, no guts, no gore. But on the Genesis or the Mega Drive, there was, and there's a specific cheat code that you'd have to input in order to unlock it. And that's what put parents in the 90s into a massive tizzy over it. Hence why games now have to have an age rating on them. That and another game, Night Trap, I think it was called. Because I know Garrett over at Video Tasties tried to play it on live stream a couple of days ago. So it was one of the few games responsible for having age ratings.
Yeah, what it is, Ian, is you've got whereas Street Fighter was very cartoony looking, Mortal Kombat took a sort of a realistic approach in the games. They used almost a photorealistic images that were used to create the characters. And like Michael said, in 1995, they created the film of Mortal Kombat, which, to be fair, is a fun movie. It's probably the best iteration of Mortal Kombat that we've had on screen, but it ejected all the violence and blood that the game was renowned for. It is a martial arts. It could be classed as a martial arts movie in a sense, but there's a sci-fi element to it as well. And there's a lot of powers that these fighters have and different. They're not just normal people fighting. You have different looks, different ice powers, all this sort of thing. And it's this
like Scorpion, one of the characters has like something that comes out of the palm of his hand. His big catchphrase is "Get over here!" And the main villain of at least the first one, if you fight him in a match and you lose, he'll take your soul. And so he's been going around for years and years and years, fighting all these people in these tournaments, stealing all their souls. Even when he's hosting the Mortal Kombat tournament on some island, anyone that loses during those brackets, they will have their souls taken from him. He'll take their souls as a consolation prize.
But as films go, yes, the first film, 95, is worth a watch, but it's cheesy and corny. Annihilation isn't worth a visit at all. There was a TV series. No point visiting that live action TV series. There was.
Then there's the 2019 or 18 live action remake.
Between that, we had Mortal Kombat Legacy, which was small web episodes. And actually, Thingy starred in that. 7 of 9, Jerry Ryan.
Oh, Jerry Ryan, nice.
Yeah. No, Kylie. There should be Kylie in there.
That was Street Fighter.
That's what I mean.
And then obviously we had the recent Mortal Kombat film, which had the violence, but it wasn't too great.
And they are making a sequel to that one with Carl Urban being cast as Johnny Cage.
And that's just shut down production literally yesterday.
Because of the writer's strike, and now the actors are on strike as well. So that production got put on hold. But I enjoy it. There's even a video game, few video games out there of Street Fighter versus. No, sorry. I thought it was Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. No, it's Street Fighter versus Tekken is the one I'm thinking of, which is a completely different fighting. Yeah, it's a completely different fighting series that hasn't had a movie, I don't think, but has had like animated stuff about it.
Oh, and and Michael's right. There has been some animated Mortal Kombat films as well, which were very good. and they're working another one of them at the moment. Interestingly, something Michael just said that's popped a thought in my head, and that thought has now completely gone, and I don't know where it was. But anyway, so
that's old age setting into you there, AJ.
It is indeed. Old AF reviewer says Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie. Brucey said it himself.
He did indeed.
Oh dear.
So Danny saw the VHS version of Spawn.
Oh.
I used to have that on VHS. Horrid cover. Lethal Weapon and Rambo First Blood are Christmas movies then, if we're going to go down that road of what's a Christmas movie and what's not.
What are Lethal Weapon films like? I've never seen Lethal Weapon.
What?
I've heard of them.
Weapon. Oh, wow.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon. Are they any good as well? Because everybody talks about them.
Yes. Yeah, they're good.
They're good, are they?
Yeah, very good, very good. The first film is a lot darker than the others. They kind of go into.
It's a buddy movie, isn't it?
Yes,
it's a buddy cop movie.
Now, the first one is a very dark, gritty film, and has a bit to say thematically about PTSD setting in from Vietnam. Bit like Rambo, I suppose, in the character.
Actually, that might appeal to me.
Yeah, and what happens when someone, he loses he's lost his wife and that, and it's all this sort of stuff. But it then it goes down the road of it becomes more comedic as the series.
Right. Yeah.
But they're far better than films produced today. Even the latter two, which were considered a downward spiral for the series. The one thing about it is that you've got this combination of Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, and Richard Donner, the director, who obviously directed Superman the movie, The Omen. Yeah. He's a great director in Richard Donner. And this combination of those three, and then you throw Joe Pesci into the mix later on.
Oh, he's in it, isn't it?
Yeah, he comes into the second one. And then you throw other characters in, like Rene Russo comes into it. Chris Rock in the latter one. It's almost akin to when you watch them, even as bad as the second, and I'm not saying second, third, and fourth one ain't bad. Not bad films by today's standards. And it's very much like if you was watching them when they came out, it's like you're revisiting family that you really get on and have jokes with. And you come away feeling, all right, well, the story weren't too great, but wow, those characters all together again is something magical when that happens. And they're attempting to get a fifth one off of the ground. Obviously, Richard Donner's passed away, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Richard Donner gave his blessing for Mel Gibson to direct the fifth.
Right. Yeah.
Because obviously, Mel Gibson. Whether that comes to pass, I don't know. But seriously, they are great films, and why
I think I'll like it. Yeah, I can tell.
You will.
Yeah, I think I would as well. Because I heard of him. I heard of Lethal Weapon actually through How I Met Your Mother, because they did a whole episode all about getting older, because Danny Glover's famous line of "I'm getting too old for this shit." So that's how I learned of the series. And the only Danny Glover film that I think I've seen is Predator 2.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's in that, isn't he? Yeah.
Which is a almost a Lethal Weapon get together
with aliens.
Now there's so many cast members in that you see in Predator 2 that you'll see from Lethal Weapon. Do you like it's like a get together?
I'm gonna is it on any streaming services?
I don't
know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
because usually if you look it up, it does.
There might be other ways of getting it as well. So
they're very cheap to get now. But seriously, you won't. I doubt you'll be disappointed. Again, like Die Hard, they're very much a genre-defining series of film.
Sadly, they're not. They're not on any streaming service, but as
it's
Adrian
all
was saying,
right.
they should be cheap enough
Yeah,
pickups.
yeah. The first
Yeah.
one interests me straight away because I mean, with Die Hard, I think Die Hard is just got that wonderful combination
Yeah.
of it has got the humor there, but it has a bit of, there is a serious side there as well, and
There is, and Lethal Weapons are
yeah.
like that, and the humour isn't really a sort of physical humour. There is a few bits between the characters, but it's more akin to it's more character based.
Yeah,
So these characters get a laugh off of each other. Do you know what I mean? It's a really strong film.
And it's like, you know, Rambo First Blood. I didn't think I'd like that.
Haven't seen any
experience?
Rambo movies.
But it's brilliant, the first film. Absolutely. It's outstanding. I'd rate it as one of my favourite films. It really, it's so good. You know,
Skip.
I haven't watched any others, but because they sort of go downhill. But that first one is just fantastic. I really like it.
With 2 and 3, it goes very much into the realm of Rambo. This is of Action Man. Kind of.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I thought,
He's bulky superhero commando kind of that kind of a realm. It takes a step away. With the 4th one, it sort of tried to pulled back on that and gave us a film that was a nice. It gave the character a nice closure, but then they went and done the 5th one as well. I would recommend maybe, I think, I mean, me with the Rambos, I can skip 2 and 3 to be honest, and go straight to 4. Just watch 1, 4, and then leave it at that. Not that they're not worth a visit. Rambo 3 was a flop at the time because,
well,
the reason for that is because it had a lot to. It was based around the Russians in Afghanistan. What happened, and ironically and interestingly, you've actually got Rambo teaming up with Al Qaeda.
Crikey!
Because this was before what happened, and Al Qaeda at that point were essentially freedom fighters fought against the Russians invading Afghanistan. And what happened was, so that film was made to the backdrop of that. Only before its release, that whole part of history came to an end. So that was over. The war was over, or the Afghanistan stuff was over with the Russians.
So it was basically rubbing salt into the wound.
It was kind of like you're telling, and you're telling an irrelevant story. The story's not relevant now because it's over. So you've released the film. It's kind of like that.
What is the tone like? Is it sort of? Is he making quips all the time and? Is the violence quite cartoony? It is serious.
It's more of a serious, it's not
Rambo
like
films.
Arnie quipping.
And the violence is it?
Violence is pretty much there.
Yeah.
They've always been.
It's not cartoony, kind of.
No, it does step into the realm of stupidness. One man against an entire army. You know what I mean? And winning. It's that kind of ridiculousness that we got in the 80s from those sort of movies like Commando and things that came after. It's into them. Whereas First Blood is a.
That's right. It's a serious film, really.
It kind of stepped into the realm of superhero. You know what I mean? He became a sort of unstoppable one-man army kind of a thing against big military powers. But they're still iconic movies. But you'll see with part 2, you see a complete shift of what the character was. Because obviously in the book, I don't know if you know, he actually dies. His character dies.
I think I've heard it. I think I heard that. Yeah,
in the book, but they kept him alive, and they did actually film the death. They did film it, and it was used in the 4th one, as in a dream sequence. You do get a flash of that death in a dream, where things are played out differently or something, if I recall. But they're worth a visit. But
I did look up. in my local CEX. I'm not sure if it's the full complete collection, but they definitely have like a box set for the complete collection of Lethal Weapon movies for like £3 on DVD.
Oh, really?
In my local CEX. So I'm going there tomorrow, so I'll definitely pick them up because I do want to give them a shot at least at some point.
You won't be disappointed with Lethal Weapon. You can't be. I don't know anyone who dislikes Lethal Weapon.
Well, you say that now, but you know me and my track record. So I could walk away not liking the first one. So
yeah, we know you. Gareth says, Die Hard, Batman Returns, Iron Man 3, and Lethal Weapon are regular Christmas watches. There you go. And interestingly, the house used in Lethal Weapon, which is Danny Glover's house, is the house next door to the house that Chevy Chase has in Christmas Vacation.
All right. That's a movie I haven't seen either.
I've never seen them. No.
All right.
Any of them.
Is The Long Kiss Goodnight a Christmas movie? Says Martin.
Never seen it.
I haven't seen it for a long, long time. I would say no. Oh, hold on a minute. Where have all my messages gone? Oh, bloody hell, there's loads. There's loads of messages. Agreed, Martin, and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Okay. Little Steve says that's definitely a Christmas movie.
Who fell?
4K Martin says, sod what people think. Michael. I know you ain't seen it anyway. Die Hard is an epic film. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, like I said, get me to 400 subscribers. I'll review it. That is a promise.
Little Steve says, Michael's taken crap. Taken or talking crap? I've seen it, so I'm good. I don't know. Are we talking about Die Hard? Total Movie Recall says, Die Hard, probably worth a watch. I'll subscribe now. That's for you, Michael.
Thank you. Because last time I had a quick look there. I am now at 316.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, 316. So that's what.
Total Movie Recall.
Another 84 subscribers to go until I have to watch it.
Watch Die Hard.
Yeah.
Total Movie Recall. I like that title. I like that name. It's obviously Total Recall.
I actually haven't seen Total Recall.
Oh, brilliant. Fantastic film.
This is why I do the tales.
Not the
at
remake,
least 4 tales. This is why I do at least 4 tales for my backlog per month. Slowly chip away at my backlog. Like for August, not only am I going to be reviewing Predator 2 and the Lord of the Rings trilogy, I finally watched Pulp Fiction for the very first time, and that's been on my backlog for ages.
I'll be interested to see what you think of Predator.
I've never seen that. That's a film I've got to watch.
Well, Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, the only Tarantino film I've seen is Jackie Brown.
I knew you was going to say
I
that.
loved it.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because
before
Pam Grier, isn't it?
Yes, I love
That's why
her.
you watched it. So I knew you was going to say Jackie Brown.
Before I watched Pulp Fiction, I seen bits of Kill Bill and Kill Bill Volume 2. I'm not 100% sure if I've seen them in full. I own them on Blu-ray. And Django Unchained was the only one I seen in full. One thing that I will say is I did not like Uma Thurman's dancing because it looked like she had been tasered whilst dancing. And then I later learned that it's because, Tarantino himself choreographed that dance routine. And now it makes sense why she looks like she's been tasered.
I think Reservoir Dogs would appeal to me. I think that's the one that I would
think
definitely
that one would. Yeah, I think Reservoir Dogs would appeal to me too.
It's quite violent.
I think, because like Pulp Fiction's very tame compared to Pulp Fiction of what I've heard.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like about Pulp Fiction was the Bruce Willis segment of the movie. Because it just dragged. in my opinion, it just dragged and didn't really interest me compared to, you know, following John Travolta's character and Sam Jackson's character, which is what I thought that movie was going to be about. I was wrong, but I still liked it. I need to give it a rewatch though.
Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Willis bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Adam Davies says, hi, AJ. Old AF Reviewer says, I'll never sub to anyone who's not seen Die Hard.
Yeah, but you see, if you see Old AF Reviewer, if you were to subscribe to me, you would then get me that one step closer to watching Die Hard. So, you know, you got to think.
But alternatively speaking, we could say that if you watch Die Hard, you know you've got a potential other sub there. Danny said, I've not seen Die Hard, have no reason to. Well, all I can say to that is that you're missing out on one of the greatest cinematic achievements of a decade. An era-defining movie that set the stage for films like, you know, do you think you wouldn't have had Speed? You wouldn't have had Under Siege?
Movies I haven't seen.
You wouldn't
for
have
500, Alan Trebek.
Things like Sudden Impact. Is it Sudden Impact? Is that the Jean-Claude Van Damme one where he's in the arena? I think it is. There's so many films that were inspired by Die Hard and that man in a scenario.
Yeah, my local CEX has the first Die Hard movie on DVD for €1. I'll pick it up tomorrow.
Good Morning Vietnam. This is from Martin. Is Robin Williams is best, along with the movie Awakenings.
Awakenings good.
I love Awakenings.
Yeah,
I haven't seen
excellent.
Awakenings.
Robert De Niro's in that, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah,
I've got that on Blu-ray. It's a fabulous.
With Good Morning Vietnam, it could just be a case that I just wasn't in the humor that day, which could result in the reason why I switched it off after the first half hour. So I may give it another shot, but not for a couple of years.
No, but I mean,
at least.
Like we know, it is subjective. So it may be that it doesn't work for you. But Awakenings they used to bring me, when I was a young lad, and I saw Awakenings when it first came out, it used to bring me to tears.
Yeah.
And
it's
sad.
based on a true story. It's a true story, is that. Yeah. And it's a fascinating story. It really is, all behind it, all these people waking up. It's just amazing. Yeah. Amazing film. The performances really reflect that as well. And I think that's an underrated film in many ways, Awakenings. Because people wouldn't really mention that as, you know, as De Niro particularly and Robin Williams in it together.
It's certainly a film you don't hear mentioned often now.
No, you don't, and it is a really good film. Yeah. Really,
it's a sad.
I must get a copy of it. Actually, I haven't got a copy of it.
It is available on Blu-ray. And Danny says he's never watched Rocky.
Oh, somebody
I
else.
recommend the first one. I love the first one. The second one was okay, and I haven't seen the rest yet because I'm still looking to pick up a copy of the third one because I already have the fourth one in my collection.
I think as bad as some of them got, I think that it's the following of that character, you know, and it's a character that you age with.
Yeah.
So even when he's returning Creed 1 and 2, it's nice to see this character. Even though I thought Rocky Balboa, the sixth film, gave the character nice closure. It really did. Much akin to the first film, how it ended. It just ended in this really nice place. But then the character did continue in Creed, which I thought was a bad mistake at the conception of Creed. Until I saw Creed and thought, you know, it's nice to see this character again, beyond fighting. You know, there's that. I do think that we should have got to see him die. in a Creed film. But that's not come to pass. But I do think we should have seen the end of his life.
Maybe if they do a fourth one and he's involved, maybe then,
And
give him the old Harrison Ford treatment.
This is, and saying that, this is one of the issues I had with the last Indiana Jones film, is that this is a character that you've never had age come into play with the character. It's never really been something that's, unlike when you watch the Lethal Weapon films, age is a theme throughout them, and that they're getting older. Much like when you watch the Star Trek movies, especially Wrath of Khan onwards, age is a theme that is played upon, and them getting older, and you go on the journey with them. All of a sudden, I'm meant to accept the character of Indiana Jones thematically, giving me a story where he's old, and this isn't anything that's ever come into play before in the history of Indiana Jones, really. It might have been slightly touched upon in Crystal Skull, but it's not a character that you've aged with, that you want to age with. Not a character that should be have the melodrama that's given to him that comes with age. And that's one of the issues I had with that. But Rocky is one of those characters that you age with, and you go through a journey and come out the other end of life with. And the same, like I said, with the Lethal Weapons, you get that.
Do you think there's some characters that should never age in our view of films? I'm thinking, like, say you had a geriatric Batman. Would that work?
Yes, because they've done it in the comics.
I know they've probably done it in comics, but would
but, I mean, it would in the sense, because earlier I mentioned the writer Frank Miller, who worked on Sin City and directed The Spirit. Frank Miller was actually the writer who brought us what we know as the Dark Knight. He was the writer that took Batman out of the sort of Adam Westy take, that sort of comic book take, and delved into a darker, grittier Batman. And his first book was called The Dark Knight Returns. And this played on an aged Batman, where he'd come out of retirement, where things had gone wrong, and he was older, he was his bones were creakier and all this sort of a thing, and he was an old man. And it has been utilized in almost, that was the setting for Batman to come, and that's why you ended up getting the Tim Burton dark era of Batman. And it was so ingrained in the comic book fan base that Batman could be dark and gritty, that the minute they stepped back into the lightness with Batman and Robin, and just before it treaded that line with Batman Forever, fans were like, nope, not accepting this, not accepting a step back to the Adam West era of Batman, which is what Batman and Robin gave you. That we've seen that darkness again. And obviously the Dark Knight trilogy played.
And does the Bruce Wayne aspect follow that as well? When he's Bruce Wayne, and does Bruce Wayne have any children? Because we never really look at that, do we? Does that have an effect?
In the comics, yes, he does. He has a son with Talia al Ghul's, the daughter of Ra's al Ghul, but illegitimate in that he didn't know until the kid was so old that he'd got a son.
That's interesting, isn't it? To have his son, or a daughter involved with Batman.
Yeah, and
his son was interesting.
His son was raised under the Talia al Ghul's, and the way that the al Ghul's work, and under their sort of and the stuff that they do. So he was he did become a Robin, but more of a very sort of going against Batman and how Batman operates. More of a violent character, not afraid to take life like that. So there is, a character like that. But I mean, look at the way James Bond has done. His character, the way James Bond films are done. That's how I think Indiana Jones really should be. I don't think Indiana Jones is a fit for, especially the 1960s. No, I think the era of the Crystal Skull, the era that was set in, was a nice juxtaposition against the Nazis, because you had the opposing force of the Russians. I felt that there was you swapped one out for another. There was still that military theme that he was up against, and I want to say that the alien stuff worked for what they were doing in that film. In that it was set in the 50s. The 50s in America, you just had Roswell, the Roswell incident, you had Area 51, you had all this paranoia about aliens going on and all this sort of a thing. And films of that era, as you know, Ian, were very much based around that. So Indiana Jones fit into that kind of a psyche. To then bring the character into the late 1960s, literally 1969 going into the 1970s. For me, that character is a fit for the 1930s and 1940s. Yeah. Nothing more. And should remain, you should remain giving us adventures in that era for the character. And none of the melodrama about age, getting old and all this sort of stuff. Just an adventure-based story with this character. Much akin to what it was meant to be when it started, which was, as you know, the serials of old. Yeah. But to bring melodrama into the mix is So, Michael, have you seen the Indiana Jones films?
Oh, what?
Yeah.
None of them.
Stuart George says Mrs. Doubtfire is one of Robin Williams' best, in his opinion.
I mean, I've seen it for the first time this year, and I was surprised that I actually liked it. I thought I was going to go in thinking that it was overrated and all that stuff. But yeah, I definitely did like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, it's got a lot of heart to it. I think when a film's got a heart to it, then it just makes it better.
It's one film I don't have in the collection.
I don't have it anymore.
I don't actually. No, I don't have it. No.
I used to have it on DVD, but when I decided to downsize my collection with movies that I have seen, and eventually pick them up on Blu-ray and do my new way of doing it, where I pick a movie up on DVD first, watch it. If I like it and I want to upgrade it to Blu-ray, if it has one, do it that way. If not, sell it on and keep it out of the collection. That way I just have what I actually want in my collection.
Fair enough. I think the scene, I'll say, the reason I haven't got it, I don't know, I just don't feel ever like revisiting it. And I'm not saying
I don't think I'll revisit it anytime soon.
The one scene
I think I'm saying
the one scene that always stood out to me that made me laugh was Pierce Brosnan getting the lime to the head.
Yeah. That was a really good one.
And I think it's more...
I also like that, there is a 007 joke in the beginning of the movie with, having a 007 in this movie.
Okay, what was the joke? I can't remember
it. He made some... when Robin Williams was doing his voiceovers, he'd done a voiceover for like a James Bond 007 bit. And if memory serves correct, because I did look this up, Mrs. Doubtfire came out before Pierce Brosnan was cast as 007.
Okay, all right.
I've just realised there is 3 films that I watched on Prime, which I saw, which I've been meaning to watch over years, which are very popular films. Is the American Pie series. I've never seen the American Pie, and I watched them. I watched 3 that I think there's more maybe, but I watched the 3 that were on Prime, and I thought they were great. I loved them. I was surprised myself because I thought everybody's going on about them, and I thought they work because they know what they're doing, and they've got a heart to them. Even how you look at the humor. You can see how in between is came from a lot of that sort of humor, and I really enjoyed them. And,
there's a lot of straight-to-video films for them that they done.
You're right. I
think with the main cast, was it 4? American Pie, American Pie 2, American Pie, The Wedding, and
So
then
there's
one where they all reunion. Is that right? People correct me if I'm wrong. American
I
Pie,
don't know.
American Pie 2, American Pie The Wedding, and American Pie Reunion.
Yeah, I saw the wedding one. I said that was
Yeah.
the third one, I think. Yeah.
They're the four mainstream theatrical release ones.
Right.
And
Yeah.
there's probably 5 or 6 straight to video American Pie movies as well, which, to be honest, can be
A mixed bag.
Yeah.
They can be ignored. It hasn't got.
Right.
Yeah, it might have one odd character like the gingerhead kid, you know, the Terminator one, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
One who says Shermanator. The Shermanator, that was it.
That's
Up in one, and I think maybe Dad pops up as a character.
Yeah.
You know, the main guy's dad, Sean Levy. Is that Sean Levy who plays that? Yeah, but they're just by playing on the name and giving you
a watered down, not
comedy,
interesting.
Yeah, it focuses on some of them. I think focuses on Stifler's younger brother. Without Stifler being in it, so you got another Stifler essentially.
Yeah,
but no, they're funny films.
Yeah,
I remember cinema visits to them. Trev says, 1 hour photo and Dead Poets Society.
I love that. Yeah, 1 hour photo.
Movies that I haven't seen. I've been meaning to watch Dead Poets Society. It's been on my radar for quite a while. It's just one that I need to keep an eye out for to pick up.
Absolutely. Popeye.
I think that was my first introduction to Robin Williams as a kid, was him as Popeye.
Really? It wasn't? Well, no, you're a bit young for...
I never liked the cartoon as a kid, Popeye. Never connected with me.
Yeah. I never ate my spinach.
I don't like spinach now.
It didn't do nothing when I did eat. It didn't do nothing for me. I suppose you got a generation of kids eating spinach.
Yeah.
There was some good to it, I suppose. Richard, hey Richard, hey Kevin. Matt's
Hello.
Here.
Yeah.
Hi Matt. Matt says Bruce Lee is the man.
Hi, Matt.
A legend.
Yeah.
Hey Matt. Hey Danny. Matt is doing a live next week on Dan's Movie Cave to do with martial arts stuff. When it comes, Sexy Monkey, when it comes to martial arts, I like the 70s show. 70s Shaw Brothers ones pretty much exclusively. And hello. I'm ignorant to what they are. Sorry.
There's Arrow box sets, isn't there, of the Shaw Brothers thing?
Is there?
I think there is. There's 2, isn't there? Those Arrow video box sets. They're full of all Shaw Brothers films.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
They're quite expensive, I think they were.
But you've not seen any, Ian, though?
No, I've not. No.
Bruce Lee is a god in my house, says Stuart. Little Steve. Young, wasn't he? 27 at the time, 31. Danny says he has the Karate Kid on Steelbook Trilogy.
Nice.
Martin McBurney says, have you seen Carlito's Way? Absolutely fantastic Al Pacino and Sean Penn movie.
I haven't.
No, I haven't. No. I've heard a lot of good about it.
Yeah, it's one film I've not watched actually. And Jackie Chan's Asian films. Carlito's Way is a classic. I can't and won't do streaming. For me, it's physical media only.
I've kind of gone that way myself, where now if I just, as I said in your stream yesterday, AJ, that for me it's I just watch strictly YouTube, or I'll just pick something from my collection behind me to watch. And if it's something that I do want to watch, usually I'll just look for it and add it into the collection, rather than watching any of the streaming. Granted, I don't pay for the streaming services. I use my aunt's Netflix and my cousin. Technically, it is my Disney Plus because it's my login details, but she pays for it over in America. But even now, like with Secret Invasion, I've only watched the first episode. I haven't gotten around to the others yet, and not sure if I will at this point. I might wait for it to finish before I binge through it. But other than that, it's either what's in my collection, or if it's a movie I want to see and it's in cinema, I'll go see it in cinema.
Or an illegal.
Yeah, I wanted to watch the Black Mirror series.
I wasn't going to mention that, AJ.
The Black Mirror series, I thought, fantastic series. I thought, but I'm not going to pay just Netflix for that. So I just did a bit of searching online and found copies and quickly downloaded them and enjoyed it. It's a fantastic series.
I mean, ever since one of my websites, ever since one of the websites I used to use shut down, I have 3 on my back burner because it takes a while for a certain show to update on one of them, and with the other 2, it's always simultaneously.
Yeah, what shows that?
Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering that. I thought you're not. I bet you're not subscribed to.
Oh God, no! Fuck Paramount Plus. There is absolutely nothing on their streaming service. Only if you like Star Trek, which I do, but I'm not willing to hand those guys my money after what they've done. Old Nickelodeon shows that I grew up on, which I'm not in any hurry to relive my childhood here. Or again, one of the old Nickelodeon shows that I used to watch, the live action reboot, the reboot that happened for it, which I've only seen the first season of, and I haven't even bothered with the second or third. And Young Sheldon, which even that I use one of my websites for. I got a week trial of Paramount Plus, and I had a look to see what was there. I was like, wow, this is just as empty as Lionsgate streaming service. Let me go and cancel that my subscription to this now.
I mean, you know, I do the same. How do you think I see Star Trek?
Mm-hmm.
Don't bother me in the least. Christ, you know. Where there's will, there's a way. You know,
where there's a will, to where there's a way.
And they're so easy to find to watch.
They are. I like literally in about less than 5 minutes, a few minutes. Just type something. Oh, right, straight down.
Yeah.
I mean, why pay all that money?
I mean,
for a channel that you're not going to watch.
It's how I've kept up with Doctor Who, actually, because I don't have stations in my house, and the BBC iPlayer is literally only for if you're in the UK. So I either will use a VPN to watch it on my phone, or if it's not on any of my websites, which the last 2 episodes took a while to get on. And even now, a lot of the websites that I know of only have as far as the last year's New Year special. They still don't have Legends of the Sea Devils or The Power of the Doctor. There is one new one that I have, a website that thankfully does have it under special. So that's why I'm hoping with the announcement of it being on Disney Plus, it did say excluding the UK and Ireland. It didn't necessarily say the Republic of Ireland or Northern Ireland. So that's where I'm a little bit confused on if we're going to have it on Disney Plus or if we aren't. So hopefully we do.
So Dr. Impossible, how are you doing? Good morning. Still got the Karate Kid on pre-cert rental on RCA Columbia circa 1985. Sony never reused the original superior artwork. Surprising that is. Danny did say Star Trek Season 2, Episode 1, Strange New Worlds is available on YouTube Paramount.
It was, yeah, for a little bit. I'm not sure if it still is. I think they did the same for episode 2 as well. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
So I know they actually did put the full season 1 on YouTube for Strange New Worlds.
They did, yeah, I remember that. Wasn't too long ago, was it? I don't think.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that's right. So this is one I guess you may have seen, Ian. Tales of the Mummy.
Tales of the Mummy. No,
AKA Talos the Mummy.
No, I've not seen that. No.
Thought that would have been up your street.
Yeah, it would be, but no, it's not.
Danny confirmed that Spawn was on VHS. He's never seen it, so wasn't sure if I should watch it. Have you got a VHS player then now, Danny? And yes, there was an animated series of Spawn. I've got them actually. It was very dark. It was more akin to what the comic book tone is, dark and adult orientated, as opposed to the film. Sexy Monkey says I make my own custom Blu-ray sleeves and use original poster art whenever possible. Cool. Yeah, Danny's HMV sells a lot of Spawn figures and details are really great, just out of my price range. They are quite expensive. Yeah. More Kombat. USA, fantastic. That's a fantastic game. And upon 360, they started doing X-ray vision when you hit someone. Okay.
I do remember seeing that with some of the later Mortal Kombat releases, where it literally shows you an X-ray vision of the actual, bones breaking and all that.
Fair enough. Street Fighter is the last game. Sexy Monkey Street Fighter is the last game I played in '98 on floppy disk. Nothing since then. I'm not a gamer. I don't play.
I mean, the amount of times the Capcom re-released Street Fighter 4 over the years is a joke.
Yeah, I enjoyed the last Mortal Kombat movie, says Chris Allen. It wasn't as good as the '95 one.
I haven't seen it. It's on my backlog.
DVD guy says in the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie coming, they replaced Johnny Depp.
I've never seen those.
Haven't you?
I've seen bits of Curse of the Black Pearl, which is one that I own on both VHS and DVD.
I think that.
What's your opinion on them?
I've got them all. I don't mind them when I watch them, but I struggle on a rewatch. I think they're overly long. Overly stuffed. First one's the best. Yeah, and the money's all there on the screen. I can't knock that. They look fantastic, special effects wise, and all that. I just think they're overly stuffed movies.
Is it comedy? Is it a very sort of comedic?
Johnny Depp is in the character of Jack Sparrow, and Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I've seen that character around. Yeah.
It's a fantastic character. Johnny Depp's fantastic in them. His performance as Jack Sparrow is, I can't take away from that. Just I think I struggle on a rewatch with them. Just too.
Yeah. I mean, as well, like after the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, Johnny Depp is, from what I've heard, he still owns that costume. And after the success of the first one, he would go to, children's hospitals visiting kids with cancer dressed as Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, that was during
just to see them.
Yeah, that was during filming. He would do that, which is great. Yeah. Richard said there is a live action Tekken movie out there. It's awful. Don't bother.
I did think I'll keep my distance.
Danny says I've never seen Lethal Weapon either. Shock. Sexy Monkey says the series gets weaker with each Lethal Weapon film, in my opinion. And I did. That's exactly what I said. But when you compare those films to films that you get today, there's a night and day. Even the worst Lethal Weapon films will stand up to films that you get today. A lot of films that you get.
I've even noticed it going back as far as, when I watched Man of Steel for the first time. A film that came out in 2013 has way better CGI than most shit that comes out this year.
The things with Lethal Weapon films is that you've always had good writing for the characters. No matter how the main story that you're following and what they're doing is may have dipped in quality of the story, the journey that they're on, the adventure that they're on, the criminals they're up against. You've always got the character. You've always got the characters that you want to follow through the journey, and that character stuff. Lethal Weapon series went down the Rush Hour route after the first films. Still fun films. So yeah, Rush Hour was inspired by Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, I've only ever seen the third Rush Hour film. I still need to watch the first two. I own the first two. I used to own Rush Hour 3, but again, it was a movie I've seen, and it was a part of that big bulk trade-in. But I'll get around to the first two Rush Hours.
I would
eventually
argue that the latter Lethal Weapon films are on par with the first Rush Hour, or better, and the later Rush Hour films, I can't even recall one moment of the third one. And I think I went to cinema to see it, and I don't think I laughed once.
In all sort of genres, because I've noticed, it seems that they're wanting to start franchises up, aren't they? So I mean, I've no intention of ever seeing that one with cars. What is it?
Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious just doesn't really appeal to me, but
it doesn't appeal to me either.
These are there's loads of them, isn't there? These kind of
10. Technically,
these films, they must make must make a lot of money out of them to keep going.
They do.
People must still enjoy them.
They're supposed to be
people talking,
the last one.
They don't like them. Yeah.
This the Fast 10 was supposed to have, it ended on a cliffhanger. There's supposed to be another one. They're only going to make 11 movies, and then Vin Diesel said, maybe we might just stretch this out and to make it a 3-part finale.
It's about brand recognition. Yeah. You can make something that you recognize as a brand. You're instantly, you've got that money. You've got that money coming through the door, which is why Hollywood are happy to go back to remakes and reboots and sequels, because a lot of the work is done, because they know that they will get footfall through the door. Might not be what they want.
What I would like to see is them, instead of remaking popular movies, why not give certain movies that had a great premise but flopped another chance? Remake it the way it should have been, with a decent enough ending. Remake those movies that had so much potential that inevitably flopped for one reason or another. Give them another shot. Fuck all remaking these movies that have already been successful. Remake terrible ones.
I totally agree with what you're saying. I 100% agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
But let's play devil's advocate here. Devil's advocate. Now, I'm a film producer. Now, you knock on my door and you say to me, I've got an idea for a remake of... I'll use Robocop, because I did do a remake of Robocop. And, and then Ian knocks on my door and says, I've got the idea for a remake of some film that flopped and made no money whatsoever. I've got the idea of a remake for John Carter of Mars, right?
Yeah,
which was a massive loss for Disney, right? So I'm then thinking, okay, let's look at this realistically. So you're bringing me Robocop, you're bringing me John Carter. John Carter's had a film that flopped completely, that could make a good franchise, and you're bringing me Robocop, which is a brand recognized name that I know that if I make this film, I am going to get sales. The risk is weighed in such a way that they will say, we'll go with Robocop because it's a name that's brand recognized of something that was good, or at least for one film. But Robocop has a lot of history to it on screen, and it's got good. People's memories of it are good for the most part. John Carter of Mars was a complete flop, and people associate you're doing a new one to a film that's flopped. I'm not going to bloody go and see that. First one I didn't even see, or when I did see it, it was a load of rubbish. So it's about risk. It comes down to risk. But I totally agree that there are so many potential properties out there that were ill-conceived, fantastic ideas, just not done justice, that should have that remake treatment. But from the perspective of them sitting behind a desk who's laying the money on the table, it's about what's going to get me that return. I know that Robocop will get me a return of some sort for definite. May not be as much as what I want, and it may flop. There is still that risk factor, but
it may flop.
Brand recognition,
toy sales might also help.
That's right.
In that regard, because if you with Robocop, if doing another reboot, it might not do as well as the last attempt of a reboot did, but toy sales, if we go to say Hasbro or someone like that to make our toys, we might be able to recoup the cost that way.
100%. That's and comic licensing, all this sort of stuff, T-shirts. But I totally agree. I'm only playing devil's advocate there.
Yeah,
but I agree.
Exactly. And I get what you're saying. There is a massive, risk factor with remaking something that has flopped, but it is something that I would love to see them attempt to do.
Because that's Robocop, the remake of Robocop, it always got me, right? I didn't mind what they'd done, story-wise. They'd done a nice switcheroo on the story and went about it a different way. Yeah. But the minute that you've got an iconically designed character, which is nigh on perfect, Robocop, the first Robocop, the minute you change that design, you cannot improve upon that design. Same with the Predator. The first Predator is still the best looking Predator. It is, yes. The Predator's always been very similar throughout the films, but where they've tried to tamper with the design and things, it just doesn't work. There's been, that's the issue. That's the key issue. And then you make a film like, you do a Total Recall remake. You got Total Recall, a great Arnie film everyone adores and loves, and then you remake again. This time there's no Mars in it. It's just all set on Earth, and to a lackluster movie that can't compare to the original.
It's the same with the Power Ranger 2017 movie. The suits that they used in that were not akin to the Zoo Ranger suits of Super Sentai. It's completely different, which is another reason why it failed compared to the 1990 the 90s Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie, which still had the Zoo Ranger and that one Die Ranger suit, but just made look more like armor compared to the actual spandex of the time.
Yes, I don't know. Because I've got no experience with Power Rangers beyond that 2017 movie, which
I don't
made me go out and buy cream donut.
I remember thinking the exact same thing. Like, as a product placement movie, it done it really, really fucking well. But I do I don't actively watch Power Rangers as much anymore, but I still keep up to date with a lot of the stuff. They're even now with Cosmic Fury that's coming out in a couple of weeks, the latest season. They're stepping away from doing the Sentai footage, how it got popular. License the Super Sentai footage from Japan, film some American scenes, dub over the Sentai scenes, and that's how you make a low budget show. But now they're doing all American footage, American owned suits, and all of that. So it's be interesting to see how Hasbro handles Power Rangers.
Oh yeah,
moving forward.
So you grew up with it. You're more.
I did, yes.
Age range for it.
I grew up with the seasons from Lightspeed Rescue in 2000, as far as Mystic Force in 2006, 2007, which is when I stopped.
These are just all like random words that to me it means nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm well aware it means absolutely nothing to you old farts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
No, actually, that bit is. But my son, when he was growing up, he got into Power Rangers. We used to have to sit watching these awful shows on Saturday mornings on TV. And then the worst experience was when he wanted to see the movie, the first Power Rangers movie, and we went to the cinema. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, Gareth over at Video Tasties, he's going to have to watch it when he hits, 2,000 subscribers?
I just remember it being there's a middle part to film, and they're not even in the costumes. And
they're not. That's when they get their ninjetti powers.
And it literally was like this, hurry up and bloody finish.
But what film is this we're talking about? What one?
The 90s Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie.
Yeah, it was the very first one, I think it was. And
it's the very first one, because there's technically been 4 Power Rangers movies in the 30-year span. There was the movie that Ian was just talking there, the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie. Then there was Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. Then there was the 2017 one, and then the 30th anniversary Netflix special that came out a couple of months back.
All right, moving on. All right, sorry. Chris Allen said Lethal Weapon is one of the best movies ever. It's a great film.
I'll get around to it eventually.
Sleep with Anger is a really great film starring Danny Glover. I can't say I've seen that.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't think I have. Matt says, Ian, you can pick up Blu-ray box set of Lethal Weapon from HMV for 15 quid. Or on DVD,
not bad, is it?
Or on DVD from Music Magpie for £4.25.
Yeah, you see, for me, if I want to order from Music Magpie, I have to do it on their eBay page, because if I try to order from their website, they only ship within the UK on their website.
Okay.
But I don't. One of the main reasons why I don't order from eBay is massive postage price on certain items to ship to Ireland because of Brexit, and then the potential of paying import fees, because the last thing I had bought from the UK was my Tenacious D Blu-ray bootleg, and I had to pay import fees on that, like an extra €4-6 import fees on top of the 20 quid I spent.
Here you go. I'll cut out the expletives here. Yes, you are out of luck. Now you are, and you will suck. Michael?
Yeah.
I've got that song committed to memory. From Tenacious D, yeah. I can sing it. I did have the soundtrack.
I seen them live. I actually got to see Tenacious D live just a month before the pandemic hit back in 2020. And they were phenomenal live. And for me, the Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny is one of the best musicals out there. The same with South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut are some of the greatest underrated, not counted musicals that exists.
It's a fun movie. It's a fun movie.
It really is, yeah. It's a shame it flopped.
Yeah. Ian, have you seen the new Indiana Jones film?
No, I haven't. No. I don't go to cinema.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I've already expressed my opinion on it.
Yeah. I don't think I'll be buying
3 videos on it, haven't you, AJ?
Sorry, say again?
You've made 3 videos on it, haven't you?
No.
Yeah. I was just saying, I don't think I'll be buying Indiana Jones. I think I'll just go with the idea that there's only 3 films.
Probably best.
The other 2 didn't happen.
That's one thing that I've been seeing about Indiana Jones lately is it should have gotten the Back to the Future treatment of 3 movies and done, have it considered as one of the greatest movie trilogies out there.
I think
it's spoiled it, hasn't it? Right now,
yeah, but to answer your question, Michael, yes, I've done my initial review. I've done my how I think Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny should have ended video, where I change up the end, and I've done my revisit where I went with Matt and Chris and we saw it in IMAX. First time I've ever been to an IMAX cinema, and we went to Waterloo in London, big one in biggest one in the country, which used to be the biggest in Europe, and I fell asleep for about half an hour during the
yeah, I remember that.
That was the best part of my visit.
Yeah. It happens a lot when you get older, you know. I know that. You fall asleep all over the place, you know.
But I couldn't believe how boring the film was. Seriously, there was just no fun in it. It's just like, where's the fun?
Yeah.
I think for me, if I ever do decide to watch Indiana Jones, I think I'll just stop at the 3rd one. And like how I view, Men in Black as being just the first 3 Men in Black movies. We don't talk about Men in Black International. The same way there's only 2 Home Alone movies. We don't count the others. And that there's only 3 Spy Kid movies. We don't count the others. And Son of the Mask does not exist. We don't talk about Son of the Mask.
See, I think for me, a lot of people said that this Indiana Jones film gives it an ending, gives the character closure, and it doesn't. It gave you the exact same closure as what it gave you at the end of Crystal Skull.
Yeah,
literally exactly the same. If you can tell yourself how Crystal Skull ended for that character, this film then undoes that and gives you it again at the end. That's what it does. And so it's pointless, completely pointless.
Do you think that Harrison Ford really looks weary and he ought to retire now? He has that sense of humor with it, but I don't know, it does look. It looks like he's had enough.
He does. He does. But I remember seeing him
just
saying
retire gracefully.
Yeah. To him,
you think we should do.
He loves doing what he does, and he loves to work. He can't just sit around and do nothing. To him, it's his life, his livelihood type of thing.
I'm sure he can sit around and do nothing. He's never struck me as a very busy actor.
Yeah.
As an overly busy
I just find it funny that he just, especially when he'd done an interview before the movie came out about him, appearing in Captain America 4 as, Thunderbolt Ross. People were asking him like, "Oh, are you going to play the Red Hulk?" And he's just like, "Who?"
Yeah, he
doesn't care.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't care.
Yeah. And that's what I love about him, is he just doesn't give 2 shits about the nerdy stuff.
No, that's right. Absolutely. You said. Richard says, like Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, produced by Joel Silver, who was the 1890s action film producer of choice. Totally, he was. Nothing is over. Just don't turn it off. What's that? Is that a film? Nothing is over? I don't know. Or am I missing something? I don't know. Amazon Blu-ray, £12.74. That'll be for Lethal Weapon. Ian thinks Oliver Ian, Small Steve, Little Steve, Small Steve. When you're saying about the humour in Rambo, because that's how far back we are with these comments, he thinks you might be thinking of Hot Shots Part 2 with Charlie Sheen.
Which is actually something I picked up recently. I initially thought I was just picking up the first Hot Shot movie for €1. Turns out that it was actually a double pack.
Nice.
So I have 2 of them.
They're fun.
Yeah.
Other Joel Silver films I recommend, Ian, are Ricochet, starring John Lithgow and Denzel Washington. Wow, I hadn't heard that film mentioned in a long time. And also The Last Boy Scout with Bruce Willis.
Yeah, I've heard that one mentioned.
Yeah, that's decent.
I think I've heard The Last Boy Scout.
Yeah.
Wow, you have so many classics to enjoy. You saying it's about all the stuff you've missed.
Yeah. There's a lot to get for me to get through, and I'm slowly doing it 4 times a month.
Matt enjoys the remake of Total Recall. I don't think of it as a remake, as it's quite different. Ian ain't seen Tarantino, ain't seen Pulp Fiction, Tarantino's finest.
It's not, again, for me, like I said with The Godfather earlier on, Pulp Fiction is a good movie. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it. There was parts of it that I didn't enjoy. And, Uma Thurman's dancing looks like she's being, tasered. But to me, Pulp Fiction doesn't deserve the mantle of being considered one of the top 10 greatest movies of all time. Definitely top 30, top 20 for me. Just not in the top 10.
It's not my favourite Tarantino film.
Yeah, there is better. He has better works out there. What I would have loved to seen actually is his interpretation of Star Trek, because he was slated to direct a Star Trek movie.
Yeah, no, that wasn't ever going to happen.
Sadly, it didn't.
Sexy Monkey says to Stuart, Jackie Brown's his personal favourite.
Yeah.
Up my subscribers, says the Dr. Impossible, and I'll review Michael. Time to leave the Emerald Isle and head to Westminster. Only politicians use blackmail, Michael.
I mean, he does. Dr. Impossible always refers to me as the politician, because before I'd done my Wrath of Khan review and my re-review of First Contact, I avoided the questions of why I don't like Wrath of Khan and why I love First Contact. Now I have. So.
Richard says, Ian, you will love Inglourious Bastards. Ian, and Django Unchained.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure you
definitely love Django Unchained. I haven't seen Inglourious Bastards yet. That is a movie that I am going to be doing a review for in September as a first-time watch.
That's possibly my favorite.
Is that a war film?
Yes.
It's set during World War II, but it does give you a sort of revisionist history, in a sense. Yeah. I won't say no more, but don't take it to be.
I'm not worried about that. I know my background is history. I know a lot about history, but I never worry in films. A lot of films are not historically inaccurate.
It does its own thing with the history. And
that's fine. I like
the same Django, and so is Hateful Eight. I like the Hateful Eight a lot as well.
I haven't seen the Hateful Eight.
Little Steve says that he's PM'd me. I'll check that out in a bit, Steve. I think Pulp Fiction's good but overrated.
I would agree.
Oh, No Love for Death Proof.
Haven't heard of it.
Is Tarantino's half of the Grindhouse movie, where you had Planet Terror, and you can get them as individual movies. It stars Kurt Russell. I can't remember. I preferred Rodriguez's other half, the Planet Terror part, because more sci-fi and zombie driven, whereas this is about a stunt driver who kills girls, I think, if I recall. In crashes or something. I don't know. Michael, when are you going to do a watch through of all the Harry Potter films?
Well, you see, Danny, last year when I was revisiting them for the first time, I did post a video where I reviewed the first 4 movies.
Okay.
And that video flopped for me. It did not do well. So because that video flopped, I never went back to do the other 4. But at the same time, that was back when I scripted my videos. So I didn't really go into too much detail with the first 4 Harry Potter films. Maybe in a year or two's time, I might revisit them and do like full reviews for each, because I definitely do have some takes on the Harry Potter films. Like I really did not like Prisoner of Azkaban, and I love the Half-Blood Prince and Order of the Phoenix. But yeah, definitely in a year's two time, I think I'll revisit them and do proper reviews.
Ian, have you seen the Harry Potters?
Yeah, I've got collection.
Okay,
I've got the 4Ks. I picked them up cheap,
oh, cool.
and I enjoyed them. I need to watch them again more, I think.
Yeah,
but I enjoyed it, and I thought, yeah, this is.
I grew up with them.
Good. I didn't.
Chambers.
Yeah. My son, he read our books. I think I've never read the books, and
I haven't read. I've read the first one and a bit of the second
books, aren't they? Massive, thick books.
Yeah, what they get that way. I mean, like I heard with book 4, which is the Goblet of Fire. J.K. Rowling wrote herself into a corner with a massive plot hole, so she spent the rest of the book trying to fix it. Hence, why it was the biggest in the series.
Okay. Cool. Well, I've only seen the first Harry Potter. Not interested. Didn't like it. Dr. Impossible says Robin Williams did a film with Walter Matthau called The Survivors. It's been a long time since I saw this comedy film. I don't think I've seen that.
I don't think I've heard of it.
No.
Yeah, and Jones, Dark Knight Trilogy is one of the best franchises I ever seen. Batman. I tried watching the Batman, switched it off, but maybe I just wasn't in the right mood for it that day. Try it again.
I still have to watch the Dark Knight series trilogy. I own them now on Blu-ray. I just need to get around to them.
Yeah. In Batman Origins, Bane finds out who Batman is, his true identity. Alfred has to hide from Bane as he finds the Batcave. Okay. I got the American Pie collection on DVD. I think there's 6 to 7 movies. I think there might be more than that.
There might be more than that.
But only four worth watching. American Pie Reunion, Ian, is the next one you should watch. And then just them 4.
Yeah.
Eugene Levy. Michael, you can message Danny with your illegal website.
Yep, I will definitely do that.
I'm after a month in boxed. A month? What's a month? I'm after a month. Well, what's that? In boxed VHS apart from eBay. No idea what. Oh, wait. Does that mean you're after a. Sorry, are you saying, Danny, that you're after a VHS player so you can watch your VHSs? Have you ever had a VHS player, Danny? Just out of curiosity.
I used to when I was a kid. I don't anymore.
Enjoy it when it chews up.
Yeah. That's right.
Hi, Kel. How you doing? I mean, I used to have to unscrew, take it apart to get the tape out, and the tape's creased up, and you get all the lines over it. I don't miss VHS at all.
I totally agree. Agree.
I mean, the step up to disc was
it was massive.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw DVD, that was it. I just you knew that was the future.
Yeah.
I think for me, the last time I seen a movie on VHS, back when I was a kid, we could be talking 2005, I think. Was the last time I owned a VHS player.
Yeah, and also, Danny, don't forget your head cleaners. He's going, what? Head cleaners?
I don't even know what you're on about, so.
Ian will.
Yes.
Head cleaners, yeah. Danny says, I love Mortal Kombat, never seen the movies, looking for them on Blu-ray. Kel says, I think the first Pirates of the Caribbean died after the first one. They did drop in.
Yeah. I think if I ever do go and give it a full watch through, I think I'll only just watch the first Pirates movie.
Yeah. I don't think I'll bother, actually.
Okay, to answer Danny's question here about who is buying the Flash on physical, I will be.
I won't.
I actually enjoyed the Flash. Bad CGI and all. I enjoyed the film.
Well, apparently that was intentional. Whether I believe that is
no.
It's
come out since that they've said that was rubbish. That's completely. That's not intentional. That is you cannot argue. Oh, that was intentional. Sorry, that's nonsense. I've never heard such a lie in my life. Not only that, they have come out since and said, well, actually, we had this film in the can a long time ago, and we didn't bother doing anything else with it.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't bother working on the CGI, except those scenes that you will see in the trailer. We'll make them look better to get you in. They didn't want to spend any more money on it. Warner Brothers would have made more money canning the film and not showing it on tax write-offs than what they've made from screening it. But I will be buying it because I enjoyed it. I thought it was a decent story in a sense. I had fun with it. That's the main thing. I believe it's tomorrow's the 17th, isn't it? It actually comes out on streaming tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's the 17th.
Yeah, a month after cinematic release, it comes out on streaming tomorrow.
I hate the fact that this is the norm, like, of how quickly it's coming out on streaming, because that's making me not want to go to the cinema. Because, like, what's the point if I just wait a month? Or a couple of weeks, it's already out on streaming or video on demand, which means then it'll show up on some of my websites.
That's right.
So
watch it for free, illegally.
Yeah, I can watch it for free and keep my money. Because when I go to the cinema, I don't as I said, my cinema has two different prices. It's $9.99 until 3, and then it's like $12.50 or $12.99. And
he lives in Ireland. I'll send you his IP address in a minute.
But yeah, for me, just to go to the cinema at the first available viewing and getting a small popcorn, it's like €15.
Yeah, and that's what we was discussing yesterday. It's you're reflective of that. I understand. I totally understand. I don't want to go see.
Like, that's why with this Friday's coming, the 21st, when Oppenheimer and Barbie release, I think I'm only just going to go see Oppenheimer.
Barbie.
I'll see Barbie at another time.
But yeah, you're reflective of what probably most of society is like. I mean, I go cinema few and far between now, not as much as I used to since before the pandemic.
Like, this year is the most I've actually gone to the cinema in recent times, because I went in February to see Quantumanium. I went in March to see the Mario movie. I went in May to see Guardians 3. I'm going to see Oppenheimer this month, and then I think the next time I'm actually going to the cinema to see a movie and do my vlogging cinema vlog thing is October to see the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. And then again in November to see the new Hunger Games movie, and then probably in December to see the Wonka movie, because I actually really enjoyed the trailer for that.
Okay, I think my next cinema trip would probably be Meg 2. To be honest, I'm not really expecting too much from that either, other than just a bit of fun.
I've never seen the first Meg. Is that any
I
good?
haven't either.
It's an okay film. It's okay. It's nothing. Yeah. It's nothing special.
Yeah,
good effects and that, and Jason Statham is pretty good in it, but it lacks. Something is lacking. The books are far better. I've read the majority of the books, not all of them. I usually save them for when I'm on a cruise. I'll read a Meg book or two when I go on a cruise, but I haven't been on a cruise since before pandemic. I don't know, something about being on the ocean just makes me open up a book about sharks. I'm reading about sharks. There could be a killer shark. I suppose it's the atmosphere and the fact that in the boring sun. But there we go. But this one's more aimed at you, Ian. What's your thoughts on Hammer titles getting a Blu-ray release? Are they only just getting Blu-ray? Is there no,
a lot of them have already got Blu-ray releases. There is a lot, but as far as I know, an important thing, some of them I think we're getting more restoration and more updated, if you want, in some of the prints. But I heard, and I don't know whether it's true, that Network had been involved in that, and of course we know what's happened with Network going under. They did have on their catalogue, I think, about 2 or 3 Hammer titles, And so I don't know what's happening, but I can see that some will get upgrade maybe to 4K. It is possible, I'm sure. The quality of the films, it'd be great to see. I would imagine they'd only go for the real top tier titles, though. They'd probably go for the original Dracula and the Curse of Frankenstein. They'd probably go for those sort of titles. It would be nice to see, but I don't know. I haven't heard anything about what is happening. But the majority of Hammer films have been put on Blu-ray. There are obviously some that may not be, but like Indicator, they've been doing a lot. They've got some of the Hammer films now, and some of the lesser known Hammer films as well. Because I got some, I was really lucky to get one of my subscribers, Tony. He sent me a box set of Hammer from Indicator, and they were all the sort of slightly more lesser known Hammer films. It was really good, the quality, and they're on Blu-ray. So I think a majority are. I've been reviewing them now for quite a long time. Well, since my channel really started, just over a year ago, and I've still got ones to go through. I'm doing more at less sort of well-known ones, but there's a lot. There's still a lot there. And of course, I could start include if I do Hammer, then I can go into like 1 Million Years BC, Racco Welsh film, and the She films. There's a massive area as well. Isn't all horror?
Untapped.
I actually just remembered there, Ian, as you were talking about how you started YouTube last year. I was one of your early subscribers. I think I subscribed to you when you only had 17 subscribers last year.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, that just memory just came flooding back.
Superb.
I'm getting near the other number, but I didn't think about it. I looked today. I'm 25 from 500.
Wow.
So I'd be really, it'd be great. But maybe by end of August, I might get there.
Maybe,
hopefully.
or maybe even the end of this month or so. You never know.
It goes up and down. Sometimes I have a week where not much happens, and then another week it'll, you just suddenly get a few more.
Yeah, you'll notice.
Yeah.
And then you lose a couple. Sometimes you sometimes lose a few. I don't understand.
Or sometimes YouTube will say, "Oh, you've gone up a subscriber," and then the next time you refresh it, it's already back at what you were before. Yeah, YouTube is very finicky with that. It glitched like early on in this stream. I went from up as far as like 316 subscribers, and then when I checked again, it was back down to 315. So I'd say usually when that happens, give it a couple of days. YouTube will correct itself.
Do you ever think that people get fed up with you and think,
oh yeah, 100%.
If you have an opinion that they don't like?
I noticed this because early on this year when I done my 200 subscriber special of why I hate Empire Strikes Back, I think I lost 3 subscribers from that video.
Yeah, people can be funny in that sense. I mean, I don't really worry about that. Like as you know, Michael and Ian, I sort of express my opinion regardless of it. But what I won't do is I won't say something is. I won't slate a film just for the sake of slating a film. I'll give an objective reason as to my issues with the film and the problems that I saw with it. I'm not one to just say it's rubbish. I have to have an opinion-based thing in it, good or bad. And
which is why I decided to do a re-review on rewatch of Empire to give a full, proper explanation of why I don't like it.
Your explanation was pretty wishy-washy, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a very rushed video, and I admit that it was. I rushed it out. I didn't take the time that I should have taken with that video, and I believe I did with the new review that's coming out middle of next month.
Good, but I mean,
See,
I can't. I'm not going to jump on a bandwagon, and because I mean, okay, I'll take Indiana Jones as an example here. Now, I didn't like all the rhetoric that we had online before the release, where everyone was saying this film's rubbish, this film's gonna bomb, this film's gonna. I didn't get involved with any of that. As far as I did. I left messages for people on different chats and said, here's an interesting thought. Why not see the film first, then make a judgment call on it, rather than basing your opinion on the opinion of others? And a lot of these sites were doing it because negativity draws a good crowd. People love that negativity. Now, I did go, obviously, I saw Indiana Jones. I saw it twice, and I didn't enjoy it. At which point I said, I don't like this film very much for this reason and this reason and this. But I won't buy into that beforehand. Also, I don't jump on the bandwagon of everyone saying this film is fabulous. If I don't think it's fabulous, I'm going to tell you that I don't think it's a great film.
Yeah, I mean, as we all know, I'm a key example of that. Especially when it came to watching Alien for the first time, I went in thinking, oh, everyone says this is great, I'm going to enjoy it. Boy, was I wrong. I ended up coming out not liking it at all. The same with Wrath of Khan. Wrath of Khan was built up so much to me as a new Trekkie when I came into the fandom, and because it was built up and up and up, like with Best of Both Worlds, when I finally watched it, it didn't meet my expectations.
Fair enough. Let's just quick.
There's another thing that I think. I don't know why it's just a personal thing, but I know I do like music a lot, and I do put I don't do as many. I don't do many music stuff, but I do put a few music things in, and I know I'm gonna not. A lot of my viewers probably are not interested in music and CDs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I still feel it's part of me, and therefore I'll put it in the channel, even though I'm not gonna get.
I totally agree with that, Ian. Because I put some of my comic book stuff into the channel, and again, that doesn't do it for you. Do what if you feel happy sitting in front of the camera talking about your music, then and you don't get the views, then don't worry about it. I mean, I do it with my comics. I stopped doing my comic book corner, and I brought it back.
Just post. One of the things that I remember hearing, that I heard a lot when it comes to bigger YouTubers giving smaller YouTubers advice is post the content you would want to see.
Yeah.
When it comes with the music,
people. I mean, just because you don't like something or you like something, I don't understand why people get upset, but they do. Why?
It's football mentality. Weird. That's what I call it.
Weird.
It's that people take it. A lot of people ain't got the ability to handle a negative criticism about something that they like, because they feel it. I don't know if they take it personally, like it's a criticism against them.
Some people do. Yeah, some people do. Some people definitely do, because they would see that movie as a part of themselves, because they see a lot of themselves in maybe some of the characters that are part of that movie.
Me personally, I like having those conversations of a difference of opinion. If I was sat here with you talking about something that you loved and I loved it, it's far less interesting to me than talking about something that you like that I dislike. To explore the reasons and
I mean, a good example for me is, you probably know, I really love the original Dune, which I know for you've got very strong reasons, AJ, why you don't like Dune. But I'm not going to say, be upset, because you've got your reasons of why you don't enjoy it.
I mean, you know that I don't like films like Midsummer and X and Men.
They're the films. Why am I going to be upset?
It's
Yeah.
other people
It's the same, like, our friendly banter between what's the best Star Trek movie. Like, I understand your concerns over First Contact. That doesn't stop me from liking it, nor does it stop me from, engaging with you and talking and being your friend. It doesn't bother me that you don't like it. That as you keep saying, that's the purpose of movies. It is subjective. Someone might like it and someone might not like it for similar or different reasons. That's perfectly okay, and that's perfectly valid.
Yeah, I know this sounds bad, but I don't think it's bad. I think if you don't like something, that's fine. But sometimes just by using various swear words all the time and going mad, it doesn't do much for me. People saying that, I don't say I lose respect, but I do kind of sometimes. Like with music and that, musicians, they put a lot of work into what they do. Okay, not everybody likes what they do. I kind of respect people who are creative. It's same with films, you can have a respect for the filmmakers and the actors and what they put into it. And people sometimes I don't like them doing that. Obviously you don't like things and you do like things, but it just seems, I don't know. It just seems a bad thing. Why be getting all? I mean, I know there is a certain YouTuber, I won't name it, but in horror circles, who I can predict exactly what film he's going to not like. And he'll do a rant on it, and I think he does the rant because he knows it's going to gain views. And people kind of expect it of him. And you can predict it. You can predict him. He's so predictable. And he's done, I think people, maybe, I find it funny, actually, his rants. Maybe he's doing it on purpose for comedy, but I don't know.
Some people do.
Maybe it is a comedy. I find it funny. It doesn't offend me, that he's ranting away against a film that I may love. But I can predict him. He's very predictable. You know exactly what he's going to do. Is he being real? Is he just doing it for the views? I don't know.
Yeah. If he's in the horror community, I probably wouldn't know who he was anyway, because it's not my forte of a genre.
Yeah, but I won't mention his name, but I think some people who like horror would know him.
Yeah. But let me carry on with some of these comments, because I've got to finish this at 12:30 in about 14 minutes, 12:30. Before the missus gets home from work. Sexy Monkey says, personally, I think that Robocop is a perfect film, so it didn't deserve a remake. If it ain't broke, no, so don't fix it. No desire. If it ain't broke, so no desire to see it. I agree. It wasn't, although they did try and do something different with it. Thematically, story-wise, they did twist it on its head. In the story of him and his memories and that sort of a thing, so I give it props for that. But overall, it was it had a fantastic cast to it as well. Sam Jackson was in it. Michael Keaton was in it. Gary Oldman's in it. And
because I remember seeing the trailers for it when it came out and thinking, I do want to see this, because I think I grew up on the Robocop TV show rather than the movies. It's a very foggy part for me, but I remember as a kid knowing about Robocop, and I was like, I should watch this, and I just never got around to it. Even now, I still haven't gotten around to it, but it is something that is on my radar.
Have you seen the original
TV show?
I can't remember. I don't know if I have or not. That's the thing, because like I said, I know as a kid, when I was 3 or 4, I knew of Robocop. Whether or not that was from the TV show or from the movies is another thing.
So Playing Down Under says hello. Danny says, I like Power Rangers, grew up watching the first series. I remember the movie coming out. Playing Down Under says, and there are only 6 Star Wars movies.
As many as that.
I've done. I mean, just before this, I've done an opening of the Rise of Skywalker release that I had upstairs, just unopened for so long. I was sort of criticising the film throughout the opening.
Yeah, I didn't mind Rise of Skywalker, but then again, I've only ever seen it once. I've only seen half of The Last Jedi, so I definitely want to give the sequel trilogy another go around. Not right away. Not right away. Maybe
There should
in the
only
future.
be 3 Star Wars films.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the prequels definitely. Yeah, those should be the only Star Wars movies that should have ever been made.
Oh, so your happy birthday for the other day then, Sexy Monkey, July 13th.
But of course, Star Trek's better than Star Wars.
I would take Star Trek over Star Wars.
I would definitely take Star Trek over Star Wars.
Brilliant. Well done.
Yes. Just because of the amount of it that there is, and I can engage more with the characters and that sort of thing.
Star Wars is entertaining, and it is good, and it's got its own thing. But compared with Star Trek, it's
night and day.
It's not the same.
It's absolutely night and day.
I wouldn't say it's night and day. I'd have to, I had to give a good think on that decision on why I would choose Star Trek over Star Wars.
That might be actually a good video to do, talking about that.
I think there's more. The problem is when you weigh it up, there's more bad to Star Wars than what there is good.
Yeah.
There's more.
I think Star Wars, the reason it did well, I think, is because it had people who perhaps wouldn't always watch science fiction. And it had a wider audience, maybe, than Star Trek, dare I say it. But Star Trek was able to do that. The reason why Star Wars has this cultural higher thing is because whether we like it or not, it's got a wider appeal than Star Trek. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Star Trek is seen as more geekier, more niche. Even, with the popularity of the Star Trek films, it's still going to be... Whereas Star Wars is seen as, it's a wider
At least
appeal.
with Star Trek, we can say that we like all of these Star Trek movies compared to Star Wars fans.
Yeah. Even bad Star Trek movies, there ain't really a bad Star Trek movie, really.
Yeah, I discovered that on my rewatch of the 13 Star Trek movies, especially now with in the next 2 weeks, I'm wrapping up my Star Trek movie reviews with the Kelvin movies. During my rewatch, as movies that I didn't like on first viewing, like Insurrection, The Final Frontier, upon rewatch, I came away liking them more than I initially did.
Yeah. So anyway, Danny says Harrison Ford looked older in the third in Indiana Jones and Last Crusade than Sean Connery did when he was in Indiana Jones. I don't think that's the case. But there's only about was it 11 years between them or something silly like that? It wasn't big.
Something like that.
It wasn't a big gap, but no,
it didn't matter. Did it?
Sean Connery looked older.
There
are only 3 Star Wars films, like you said. Copland, Face Off, Heat, 7 are my faves. Yeah, it's good films. Luke says hi back to Kel. Can't wait for the new Mission Impossible to get a Blu-ray release and the new Insidious Red Door. Insidious ain't for me. I'm gonna have to rush through these. I got first edition hardback Harry Potter books, mint.
Nice.
Okay, head cleaner. Yeah, can't get a VHS player. Get head cleaner. Flash says, Kel says the Flash and Across the Spider-Verse is out on digital Tuesday. Okay, all right, cool. I'm glad Across Spider-Verse I want to revisit. That'll be my first revisit out of them too. Then
I still haven't seen any of those Spider-Man movies. The Miles Morales Spider-Man movies, just haven't gotten around to them.
I like them. Let me rush through this. I'm gonna have to because I need to wrap up. So something else. It comes out tomorrow on the 17th, and that's the Bruce Lee. Oh yeah, we know about that. The Bruce Lee box set. Yep. Kel says, I don't think it comes with Enter the Dragon, though. I wouldn't know. I'm not a Bruce Lee fan.
I wouldn't know.
I've not been to cinema since 2016 to see Oliver Stone's film Snowden, but I have a home cinema set up using a projector. Okay, cool. Sexy monkey. Okay. I used to pay a fiver in old cinema. Wasn't branded like View or Cineworld. I snuck in fish and chips when watching the movie. I bet that's a place up for everyone else.
I think when I go to see Oppenheimer, I'm going to be able to sneak stuff in, because mine the past couple of times that I've gone to the cinema, at the very first showing of the day, there's no one really there to check bags, or even if there is, they never check my bag.
No, I don't think they care now with that. They don't check. You can take in what you want. So, okay. So sorry, Luke's film said, "Oh, it is included." Then no, it's not. So I don't know. Stevie Dan, new subscriber. Really hoping Hitcher 1986 gets a 4K edition. Okay, first of all, hi Stevie Dan 1969. Welcome. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for subscribing. I will leave links to Ian and Michael's channels, respectively, after the fact. If you want to go and subscribe to them also, they would appreciate it. Ian's channel is Ian Hill The Ramblings, and Michael's is Michael's Movie Corner. Yeah, I did set this up very quickly this morning, and Ian, that's why I didn't add anything to the start. But no, I totally agree. The Hitcher with Rutger Hauer.
Never seen it.
And C. Thomas Howell is a fantastic film. And why haven't we got a lovely 4K edition of that film? It's Ian, what do you think of Hitcher?
I've never seen it, but I know I'm going to enjoy it.
I mean,
you can't say. I just know I'll enjoy that. It's one. There's certain films I know straight away that I'm going to enjoy. That would be one. And it seems to me that they did initially have some problems, didn't they, with the print, and saying that they wouldn't be able to put it to 4K, but they've overcome them, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, I hope so. I do.
Yeah.
Hope it goes.
Yeah.
Dan's got a good question. This is a great question, actually. Hi all. Hi all. How do you feel about people receiving titles from boutique labels and clearly never watching or reviewing the contents and then selling them on? To me, it's disrespectful and insulting.
I agree.
I do.
The company's going out of their way to give you a free product, and expecting a review. Granted, usually when it comes to this, there is supposed to be a contract done up. So if you're not fulfilling your contract, that's you breaking your contract. And these boutique labels then have every right to sue you for breaking said contract, assuming that they do set up a contract for that.
I'm assuming they don't.
If they don't, then that's a scummy thing to do. That is a massive scummy thing to do. Like, I haven't had that opportunity yet.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't had any company reach out to me whatsoever to offering me that stuff. If they did, I would make it, like, as soon as I would get it, I would make it a top priority to watch it over and make a review of it. And I wouldn't sell it on. Unless I didn't like it, then I would. Or I'd even offer to return it to them so that they could, either sell it themselves or give it to somebody else. But not watching it and selling it on, not doing a review on it, to me, that is, as he said, the utmost disrespectful and insulting thing any movie content creator could do.
I agree. I mean, I
totally.
I feel the same with if someone sends me a film that I haven't seen, as Val did the other day with Showdown in Little Tokyo. I watched it the same day or the next day, and I've done a review of it. I have been pretty bad in the sense that I've got a couple of titles upstairs that were sent to me by film director, and they reached out to me and said, "Do you want to review this film?" I reviewed it. I gave it a review, and I had them on. And he sent me a copy of the film, and he sent me a couple of other bits with it as well. They're on a pile that I've got to get round to doing. But I wouldn't ever pass those on to someone else in a sense, even if I didn't enjoy them, because they've been sent to me. This geezer's take the time to package this stuff up with some other bits from America, send them to me, because I expressed interest in this little story that came before the film that I reviewed, and he sent me that, and it's just I just ain't had the time. But no, I think that if the problem is these people, a lot of these people are not. They've reached out to these companies. They've gone to the companies to ask them if you could send me some stuff for me to review, as opposed to the companies reaching out to them and saying, do you want to review this? Now, I've thought about it. Should I reach out to some of these companies and say, do you want to? And I thought, no, I don't want to do that. If they were to reach out to me, privately and say, we would like you to review something, as this geezer did before, I would obviously I'd jump at the chance, but I would consider myself at this juncture in my channel to be rather two-faced to reach out to a company and ask for something, because I actually actively push the bootleg, which is counterintuitive to what they do in selling, in a sense, only that I generally touch bootlegs of stuff that they would never be releasing anyway. And if the stuff did ever get released, I generally replace it anyway, where I've made a mistake on a bootleg. But I think that where I actively push something like that, I'm I'm an opposing force almost. But I totally agree with you, what you said, Michael. I think.
Do you know what I think? And people as well, I notice it, and I'm really upset when I see it. Is that subscriber mail to some channels? They don't treat it right, and I really hate that.
Yeah, I do. I treat it like I've only had
people
a few things sent to me.
They love your channel. They're sending you this. And they can't be bothered. They just almost toss it away, and I really get upset when I see that. I find it upsetting.
I've upset a few people with my opinion on this, because when I first started the channel, I did do a video saying that I don't even I can't call subscriber mail anyway, right?
Yeah,
I don't
actually
as well. Like the few times AJ has sent me things, I don't call it saying, "Oh, subscriber mail." I just
don't say subscriber mail.
I got sent a package from AJ, or I got a package sent from Danny, and I still have them. Like AJ, he helped me with my Doctor Who, modern Doctor Who collection. I still have them in my collection. I can actually pull some off of my shelf right now. Actually, I still have the complete series 2 in volumes that AJ kindly gifted to me, and I'm pretty sure in one of these I still have the note that he included with that. I still have the series 5 on Blu-ray volumes that he sent me, and I still have the Eve of the Daleks and Legends of the Sea Devil multi-pack Blu-ray that he sent me. The same with Danny. He sent me 3 Yu-Gi-Oh cards as well as a Yu-Gi-Oh card playmat. Those Yu-Gi-Oh cards are now in my folder, as well as I still have that playmat with my other playmats from when I used to play it. And I still have his note as well. I don't throw out any of those. I'm always incredibly grateful when AJ and Danny has sent me stuff in the past. I don't actively, go. And as I said, when I do videos on it, I don't say, "Oh, I got subscriber mail." It's, I got a package sent from AJ, or I got a package sent from Danny. That's it. And I'm always incredibly grateful.
Subscriber mail is something that's sent by someone who watches the channel and appreciates the channel. Someone who doesn't have this kind of an interaction with me as what we're having now. And we've become sort of a sort of small friendship within community. So when I'm sending something to another channel, or another channel sends something to me, I don't perceive it as subscriber mail. It's more friends,
Yeah.
sending
Yeah.
people who've formed a sort of relationship in a sense.
Yeah.
Outside of this.
Yeah.
Because obviously we chat over, you know,
on Instagram,
things like that.
Yeah.
And I perceive it to be something different. And when I first came on to YouTube and started my YouTube journey, I did see a misuse of subscriber mail. In that there's now, if there's a small circuit of us that was constantly sending mail between one another, every other day I'm receiving something from you, you're receiving something from me, right? All of us three, including Matt and whoever, Chris from Cypher Sigma, we're all doing this as a group, and every other day I'm putting up a video saying, I've received subscriber mail from Michael's Movie Corner. I've received subscriber mail from Ian Hilda Ramblings, from Matt V Movies the next day. What I'm doing is I am forcing a viewing. I am forcing, because the minute you have subscriber mail, you pique people's interest. And people want to see what you've received. So the minute you've got a small conglomerate amongst you that are sending it to one another, all you're doing is you're driving something between yourselves, and it makes a mockery of the subscriber mail, what subscriber mail is. And I didn't like that aspect of it. And I hated seeing that. Because I see through these things. I'm not a stupid individual. I see things as what they truly are, and the mockery that was being made. It was.
I mean, I used to watch a bigger YouTuber called Beat 'em Ups. He used to do like retro game hunting videos, like the Game Chasers, but he's moved into doing Nintendo Switch content. And every couple of months, he'll do like this big subscriber mail video where he's opening all the packages that his fans have sent him. And one of the main reasons why I stopped watching him is because he doesn't seem he seems like, you know, happy and all and genuine, but I don't think he really does feel that, because with the amount of, you know, stuff, he doesn't give everything enough time to show it off, or there might even be stuff that gets edited out or not even shown at all. And that's one of the things that I just did not like about watching those videos, and that was one of the main reasons why I stopped watching him. I mean, to me, he didn't seem that genuine about it.
Yeah, I mean, I begrudgingly accept when people want to send me something, and the reason being is because, okay, it may come out of their collection, but first and foremost, number one, I wouldn't ever want anyone to go out and buy me something, right? Specifically, because number one, my answer would be, well, that's money there that could go towards, you know, if you've got children, do you know what I mean? Use it on them. That's my take on it. Also, I like to, you know, I don't know. I have the same opinion in work. Whenever someone goes to me, do you want to make you a cup of coffee? Do you want to make your tea? I'm like, no. I make my own. And it's not because I'm not grateful. It's because you don't need to be doing that for me, right? I don't come on here because I want people to send me stuff. I don't. It's nice when it happens. Of course it is, you know, but I also I do like giving as well. And I've sent a couple of people in through my videos stuff that don't have channels or anything like that. I've said, does anyone want this? And people have stepped up and said, yeah, okay, I'll if you want to send it my way, and I've done that on a few occasions. Again, I don't do the giveaways. I don't do giveaway.
I don't think I'd ever do giveaways on my channel either.
You know, if I'm going to give something away, I'd say to someone, okay, I've got this. No, I'm not giving away this phone. I've got this. I want to give it away. Whoever's the first person to message me, if you're lucky enough, I'll give it to you. I'm not going to do I've got this. When I reach X amount of subscribers, I'm going to give this away. But you have to be subscribed. You have to be subbed. You have to right, because essentially, from my perspective, it's on the one hand they'll say, well, it's giving back, but on the other hand, I did back
when I had my Yu-Gi-Oh channel, I did do not on my YouTube channel, my Yu-Gi-Oh YouTube channel, but on my old Yu-Gi-Oh Instagram, I did do, I think it was 2 giveaways for Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Luckily, they both went to 2 friends of mine, but that's as far as I ever went with doing giveaways. And on this channel, I wouldn't do it. Like if I find a movie that has a digital code, like yourself, AJ, I'll just flash it on the screen. If it still works, they're free. Anyone who's watching it that wants it is free to have it. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Well, I know that. I mean, I sent, you know, like I said, I have sent a couple of things to people where I've said, and I've had some videos where I've said, does anyone want this? Let me know. Drop me a message. As long as you live in the UK.
Recently when you went on holiday, when you picked up a duplicate of the Star Trek Into Darkness steelbook, you mentioned, does anyone want that? And you did offer it to me.
Yeah, what did you say?
I'd said yeah.
Oh, I ain't sent you it then.
Yeah, and I think you have something else that you bought specifically for me. That
yes.
Yeah.
That I need to send your way. Yes, I will send it.
Yeah.
I didn't recall you saying yeah, but I thought you might have wanted it.
Because I don't have any Star Trek steelbooks in my collection.
Well, there you go.
And it is a really nice steelbook.
Yes, it is. It's not a bad steelbook. I do have that steelbook properly, but I thought £1. I want to pick it up. I thought someone might like it. I will get them out to you. But yeah, it's just the way I feel, and I'm not knocking people for doing it. If that's what they want to do, then they do it. I just perceive it as being you know, like I went through a box of TV stuff, and someone said to me, I said, you know, this stuff here, I'm just gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna not get rid of it and throw it in the bin. I wouldn't do that. And one person said, if you don't want them, you know, Lois and Clark's, because I had Region 1 Lois and Clark's Superman, I'll take them off your hands. And I said, fine. I goes, if you want them.
Again, it's the same with the season 2 volumes that I just showed off, as well as the season 5 Blu-rays volumes of Doctor Who. You asked me if I had them and if I would like them, and you did the same with Torchwood on DVD. I even though I already had them, it was nice that you even offered them to me in the first place.
I've still got them DVDs.
I have the first 2 seasons on DVD and then the second 2 seasons on Blu-ray, because apparently season 1 and season 2 of Torchwood on Blu-ray is kind of hard to come by.
Probably. Do you have Torchwoods on DVD and Blu-ray in?
Yeah. I've only got on Blu-ray that the third one. I've got
Children
the others on DVD.
Yeah. You got the others on DVD?
Yeah, I've got the others on DVD, yeah.
Won't be sending it to you then. Sexy Monkey said, I had a channel with over 1,000 subs and foolishly deleted it. I have 300 on this one. I lost a lot of good and funny moments. Okay, so Sexy Monkey's got a channel. I didn't know that. So that means I'm going to have to find him and sub if I can find him. Oh, where's my live on here? AJ's Movie Place. Let's see what's happening.
Well, I just subscribed to him.
Oh, yeah. Sexy Monkey. Oh, that's me talking. I don't want to go to channel. Sub. There you go. I've subscribed to Sexy Monkey.
Yeah.
You sexy monkey. Anyway. Good day, AJ. TT. Hey, keeping mate. Hope you're well. We all have an opinion. If it were all the same, it would be boring. Controversy is a difficult topic, but that's why it makes reviewing a film so great indeed. Hey, Dan. Hey, Danny. Joseph Adam. Hi, AJ. I restored Supercar and Fireball X15 into 4K by a special app on tablet called AR Video Editor. Okay, cool. All right, I'll check that out. In Blackpool, man charge people burger £1.50. That's so random.
I mean, I know Costco does the $1.50 hot dogs.
In Blackpool, I'm lost. Danny loves your CD videos. Looking forward for Futurama Futurama, Barbie and Doctor Who collection season 20 this summer. Okay.
Yeah, Futurama's coming back actually this week on the 24th on Hulu.
Okay, cool.
It'll be interesting to see what they do this time around. Barbie, again, I'll watch it eventually, just not in cinema. The Doctor Who collections are out of my price range, but I as soon as I saw it announced, I said to myself, bet myself 10-1, Ian already has it on pre-order.
Yeah. It's my one. It's a treat for me. That it's my treat.
Yeah,
I've got to have
I mean, I'd love to have them on Blu-ray, but they're just they just get so expensive on the secondary market to buy.
Yeah,
and so I just
you have to get
stick to the DVDs for the moment.
Yeah. They go for ridiculous prices on eBay.
They are doing box sets like that for the new series then, for the 2005 onwards, are they?
No, I don't think so.
Them, but not like special, not like the
not like the special box sets. Like they I think what they've done is like they released they've done standard Blu-ray releases, but in America they released say the Christopher Eccleston stuff by itself, but all of David Tennant's specials, all of his stories in one big box, including the specials.
Joseph is saying here, Tom Baker is season 15 and Charlton season 6 is next in line, and Billy Piper is doing Doctor Who The Collection Series 1 for 20th anniversary in 2025.
I mean, if they do that, I'll be happy.
Of that.
Yeah, because like I do have the first season on Blu-ray. But I love the fact that they're doing the same for like going to even the black and white Doctor Who's. I was very surprised when they announced season 2 on the Blu-ray box sets.
I'm still wondering whether they're going to announce any more missing stories. It's a whole
apparently the rumor is that they found. Yeah, recently there's been talk that they've found like 8 other episodes of the missing episodes.
You just have to take it.
You have to, do it in big pinch of salt on that one.
Yeah. So Danny says he came across a massive Star Trek channel or Trek channels that when there's an opinion on Trek, they all get uptight about it. Like I said. Opinion. Yeah, that does happen. Of course.
Yeah, I think I might know the channel he's referring to, because there was a big Star Trek channel that I just did not like their takes and opinions on it, so that's why I just stopped watching them. Okay, so let's do this quick, because like I said, I was going to finish at 1:30. I've got 15 minutes, and I'll finish at 1. I will finish at 1. Okay, so just quickly, Luke. Hi, Luke. How you doing? Hi, everyone in the chat, and hello, AJ, Michael, Moot Corner, and Ian. Hope you are all well. So, just quickly, what's the last thing you watched? Yesterday I finished my rewatch of Series 7 of Doctor Who for my review next month. Okay, I watched Mission Impossible, the first one, last night. What about you, Ian? What's the last project you've watched?
I'm just going to review it for next Saturday.
Okay.
Another Hammer.
Cheap Death.
No, it's a very fascinating film. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Cool. Okay, so I refuse to watch episodes 8 and 9 of what?
Star Wars, I believe.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. They should reboot Blake 7. That'd make a decent. Yeah, I don't know why Blake 7 hasn't been considered for a reboot. What do you think, Ian?
Yeah, I think they could do it. Yeah. It's such a classic series. You do feel you don't. I think they could do it. Yeah, I think they could do it. There's a lot of good characters in Blake 7, and I think it's open to it. But would people be interested in it?
Yeah,
I don't know. That is the question.
Only time would tell. Is there a Blu-ray set? Is there a Blu-ray set you want to have a release? Yeah, there's definitely movies that I would love to have to see on Blu-ray. The way we were talking about Robin Williams earlier, my favorite Robin Williams film is Bicentennial Man.
that only has a DVD release. There's no Blu-ray release for it. I would love for that to have a Blu-ray release. Again, the same with Tenacious D: The Pick of Destiny is only has a DVD release. I had to go and source a bootleg copy on for it for Blu-ray, and it looks amazing on for the Blu-ray. I'm really glad that I
get your Blu-ray. Did you get your? Because you did get it, didn't you?
Yeah, I got it. I got it from the guy you recommended to me.
Okay, and you got it. You did get it. You ended up getting it through.
Yeah. I got it through. Yeah, it was. All in all, it cost me €20 to get it with him, and then I also had to pay import charges when it came into the country.
Do you have to pay import charges when I send you something?
Nope. Thankfully, when you have sent me stuff and Danny has sent me stuff, I never had to pay import. But when I bought that Blu-ray bootleg, and the last thing I bought on eBay, which was the Doctor Who Series 7 Part 2 on Blu-ray from Music Magpie, I had to pay import fees on that. It's a gamble on whether or not I'm going to be hit with import fees when I buy stuff on eBay. Like a friend of mine who collects Ariana Grande stuff, he paid like €250 for some stuff, and he then had to pay a further €45 import fees just to get them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Anyway, so what would I like to see as a Blu-ray release? Okay, beyond the obvious, which is things like The Abyss, things like this, I would like to see, and this is only because it was about to get a release and was pulled, and that is Freddy's Nightmares, the TV series.
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about a set here because I did get it as a bootleg afterwards, but it was due to have a release in Germany and then was pulled and didn't get a release. And the entire series hasn't even got a DVD release. You can get parts of it, not the entire thing. I'm talking about a set for answering this question, Ian. Is there a Blu-ray set you want to have released? I said I'd like to see a set of Freddy's Nightmares, the Elm Street TV series.
Oh, and I said I'd love to see Bicentennial Man get a Blu-ray set because it only has a DVD release. The same with Tenacious D: The Pick of Destiny.
But the only reason I say that one, Ian, is because it was due to be released in Germany and then got pulled.
Oh, right, yeah.
It was so close, but there's probably loads of other stuff. I mean, things like Babylon 5 Blu-ray and cleaned up would be great. Due South.
Yeah,
Blu-ray.
another one that I'd love to see.
The problem is they're very expensive, even these Blu-ray transfers, aren't they? I mean, I saw the is it the Quantum Leap, which I absolutely love. I've got it on DVD, but I don't think I'll get the Blu-rays because it's just so expensive.
They never come down, do they? They never come down.
No, the Blu-rays never come down. It's just too expensive. You can't afford it. I can't afford it. All these things that you want. Yeah, you have to make a compromise to some extent. But one thing I've noticed is that DVD quality, sometimes upscaled, is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean that's what they've done with I've seen some people do DVD upscales of Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager. Star Trek shows that haven't had a Blu-ray upscale or even a Blu-ray release at all. The only way to watch Deep Space Nine and Voyager is through DVD outside of streaming services. But even now, Paramount Plus is supposed to be the home of Star Trek. Like hell, it is. It's even over in Canada. They have one of the places they can watch Star Trek is called CT Crave, I think. All of Star Trek's been removed off of that streaming service for Canadians.
But anyway,
and that's their only way to watch it.
Let's let Ian answer this question. So, is there something you would like to see get a Blu-ray release, Ian? Film.
Actually, I'll tell you what. We talked about it earlier. I'd like to see more of linked with Hammer. There was a first Hammer series, Hammer House of Horror TV series, which is a network released. But then there was another one afterwards, which is only available on DVD, and it's now out of print. You can't get it. Now, I'd love to see that upgraded to. It's considered not as good, though I quite like it, as the original Hammer House of Horror TV series. But this second one, they changed the name slightly. I've forgotten the name, but it's really good on DVD. But it would be nice. Network, I think, would have probably gone for doing that, but that's not going to happen now. So it's a shame.
Cool. So let's have a look. By the way, nothing is over. You just don't turn it off. Is a quote from First Blood when you were talking about Rambo. Oh yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, yeah.
My head. Stevie Dan, no, thank you. It's been a fantastic stream here, Michael AJ. I'm off to make a coffee and have some lunch. Yeah, that's what I got to do.
Enjoy.
7 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna after this I'm gonna head down to the shops and get myself a roll.
I still have the Star Trek Blu-rays AJ sent to me. Oh, that's nice, Danny. Thank you. Subscribe to Ian and Michael's channels.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Superb. That's what we like. Hi, Luke. I show my custom-made Blu-ray sleeves on my channel, and friends like my work. Yeah, I look forward to seeing that.
So do I.
Yeah, I'll subscribe.
I'm creating something unique that no one else has, and they appreciate that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
At Sexy Monkey, what's your channel called now? Sexy Monkey. I was like, yeah, it was. I send them duplicate Blu-rays. I have to.
Yeah, because I would love if when Blu-rays would get released, if they use of classic films, if they use the original poster artwork.
Yeah, I like the original poster artwork.
Yeah.
Sexy Monkey says, sorry for all the monkey images. You might have had to scroll through to get to my channel. Thanks for the subs. I wasn't expecting that or asking for it. No, absolutely. You're on here.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, I'll come pick your channel out.
Yeah, I will.
You know? Futurama is owned by Disney, so I would not hold my hopes up.
Yeah.
Any TV shows over 6 seasons long deserves a Blu-ray release. Fair enough. Oz is my favourite TV series. If that comes to Blu-ray, I'd buy it in a heartbeat. I even got the Oz tattoo on my shoulder, but then got it covered up. Why'd you get it covered up? I'm actually getting a new tattoo this week.
I don't have any tattoos yet.
I'm going for one. It's to just go up my whole arm on top of this bird. Which is new, which I got to cover.
Nice
up.
farmer's tan there, AJ.
Yeah, thank you. That covered up another tattoo that I had, which I had to cover, and I'm getting some tribal just to fill the arm up.
How painful are tattoos?
Depends
on where you get them.
Yeah, it depends where the body part is. This not too much on the arm.
And how close to the bone it actually is.
Yeah. So, and
I've heard stories of people getting tattoos. As soon as the needle hits the bone, most people end up passing out from that.
My son, my middle son, his girlfriend is going to do it. She's passed out as a tattoo artist. She's going to do it for me.
Right. Nice.
Just because I don't like the bird there with nothing. I have been saying it there, but with nothing above it.
You ever going to get a Star Trek tattoo, AJ?
What?
You ever going to get a Star Trek tattoo?
No. What? Spock's face?
Or just even the Delta?
No, I have no intention of getting a Star Trek.
I might. I've been thinking about getting a Star Trek tattoo.
I got Punisher tattoos. And I've got a Superman shield on my shoulder blade back here, but it's got an alien wrapped around it from Aliens, the chestburster alien, which was it was done for. There was a comic book of Superman and aliens, Dark Horse and DC, who had the rights to Aliens. They come together to create Superman versus Aliens, as well as other crossovers. And it was like an image. There was 2 images. One where the chest burster was coming through the Superman S, and one where it was more sort of just
wrapped
wrapped
around it.
I had that one done on my shoulder blades when I was younger for some silly reason. But luckily, I can't see it.
Yeah.
Because it's on my back, so I never see it. So. But you do these things when you're younger. Most of my tattoos are above sleeve level. They all are, actually. I don't go. I've never gone below. I don't know. Midlife crisis, getting that done. I don't know. It's just like I said. My son's girlfriend. My son's girlfriend is
I don't think if any of your family end up watching this, I don't think you're going to live that one down, AJ.
I know. She's a tattoo artist. And, I said to her, just design whatever tribal you want and do it. So my girlfriend. I don't know. Sexy Monkey says, at Matt Vidu, just sub to you, said Matt to Sexy Monkey. I do my very best and thank you. Great custom slip designs. Okay, I got to check them out. No problem. Taxi Driver's the best one I've done and ever will do, in my opinion. Where are you based, Sexy Monkey? Are you in the UK, Sexy Monkey? Let me know. It was covered up with a Jamaican.
Check actually, because on their channel it'll say where they're based.
A sign of my love for her on both arms. Nice, cool. So we're at the end of the thingies, unless Sexy Monkey's still there and wants to tell me if is he UK based.
He's UK based.
Oh, superb. And if he does custom slips and that, then I'll he's in Bristol. Oh, superb. Yeah. I'll have to check that out. Fantastic. Do you take do you
commissions?
Do you do commissions? If I said to you, I want this, could you do that? And what sort of price?
So if you do, I'd definitely be interested.
We'll discuss that.
There'd definitely be some of my Blu-rays that I would love to have with the original artwork on.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So we're at the end of the comments now. So Stevie Dan subscribed to Sexy Monkey as well. Look at that. People subscribing, sharing the love. Yeah. That's how it should be. Mate straight. I wouldn't. No, that's nice of you, but I wouldn't go. I'd have to give you something for it. Of course. We'll sort something out. We'll talk. I'll message you. Are you on Instagram and Facebook or anything like that? If you are, send me a message to AJ's Movie Place. I'm on Instagram. I know Ian and Michael are as well. Okay, here's the last one. Last message now. Has anyone seen the 1980s TV show Moonlighting on Blu-ray?
No, but I've heard. I think I've heard of it.
It's a great series. Is that the Bruce Willis?
Yeah, Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd. That's right.
Very good series. Yeah,
I have them on. On DVD. I have all series on DVD.
Yeah,
I don't believe they've ever been given a Blu-ray release.
I don't think so.
I don't know whether this has changed recently, but I could even tell you that up until a little while ago, I don't know if I don't know if it's changed. It might still be the way. It wasn't even on any streaming service. I saw in Isle of Wight. I saw seasons 1 and 2 on Blu-ray over there in the CEX. They were 20 quid. If season 1 and 2 are together in the same box, it was 20 quid. It's quite difficult to come by as a Blu-ray, as a DVD now as well. But yeah, Bruce Willis, Sybil Shepherd.
It's good.
A great series. You know, it got. What can I say? I mean, there's some episodes in that just stand out. A Womb with a View, where Bruce Willis is a baby, but he's himself, but he's inside a womb. He's inside a big plastic thing, and it's meant to be in Maddie's womb, and because she's pregnant, but we don't know if it's with Bruce Willis's baby or this other geezer's baby. It is Bruce Willis's baby because he's the baby in the womb, but it's him, adult. But she loses the baby, and then there was the film, the program, you know, like how Deadpool and that break the fourth wall. That's what yeah. When the program was being cancelled, they were, you know, you had people walk on set and start dismantling the props and the office and taking them all away.
I think I've heard of
I've seen
that.
that. Yeah.
I think, I definitely
Yeah.
heard of it. Something similar happening to a show that way.
I'm sure I saw a clip of that. Yeah.
I think I seen a clip of that too.
Yeah.
They start winning away the backdrop. You know how outside the window you've got like the seascape.
Yeah.
You see, it was a great series. It really was. And Bruce Willis went on. That's become Die Hard.
Yeah, he's a great actor. Great actor, Bruce Willis. Totally underrated. He never gets mentioned as much, say, as some other, so-called action, Arnie and Stallone. But Bruce Willis, what a really great actor he was. Yeah, and still is, but unfortunately, what's happened to him. But
Sexy Monkey says he may have just found me on Facebook with the alien image. Is that you? It sounds like me. Is it face to face with an alien? Is that my Facebook image? Yes, that's my full size alien.
I technically do have a Facebook for Michael's Movie Corner. I just haven't fully, fleshed it out or what have you. Because I definitely need to.
Yeah, I think I saw yours.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of. Because I used to have like my own personal Facebook page, but I deleted that months ago. But it was through AJ's suggestion of making a Facebook page for my channel that I did. I just haven't fully fixed it up or what have you. And I think I'm gonna take a new channel photo and do it that way, and as well as a new background or what have you for that, and then I'll obviously immigrate that over onto the Facebook and start sharing out my videos on different groups as per AJ's suggestion.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of people do it, I notice now.
Yeah,
there's more of people that on YouTube and now on Facebook.
Yeah,
maybe they've been there originally.
The thing with Facebook, I can get like maybe 10 friend requests a day on Facebook, and they're all fake. They're all people.
That did happen to me a lot on my personal Facebook page of all these porn accounts adding you.
Yeah.
What about on Instagram? Every day I get some beautiful model. I think, oh, crikey, this is a beautiful model. And it's ridiculous. They're all fake.
See, I don't get them following me on Instagram. I just get them liking my Instagram story.
Yeah, if I don't get, if it's not someone messaging me, offering me like sexual favors, right? Attractive, unrealistic woman. It's someone telling me that, have I heard that I've won my name is in some Facebook winning thing where I've won.
Oh yeah. Oh, that rubbish.
Yeah, but AJ, I was just thinking there, perhaps some of those fake porn accounts might be Garrett just messing with you.
Well, Garrett,
it would seem like something he would do.
But it's just so, Facebook is so, and I understand why I came off of it as a personal account.
Yeah.
It's just full of
I've been on it for years and it's
just
even with the new social media that they've done, Threads, Ireland doesn't have it. The EU, it's blocked in the EU. No one in the EU can access it, except for those in the US and the UK. And the amount of data that they want to farm from you, I mean, it's the exact same data that they farm from Facebook and Instagram, but it's still a lot of data that they want to farm from you. Yeah,
I can imagine. Anyway, it's just gone 1 o'clock, so I'm going to end this. We've been at this for some time, so let's just round up what have you two got going on the channel. Michael, you go first.
Tomorrow, I'm doing a re-review for Star Trek 09, as well as I have two other videos coming out this week as well. I forget what they are, but as well, every Thursday, like with AJ, I am reviewing the new episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which was a suggestion from AJ, and I have been following. I finally followed up on that. And of course, every Saturday will be my weekly pickups video, which one posted a couple of hours ago.
It's just a shame the Star Treks just don't receive. I mean, your review's done better than mine.
Yeah, mine got like almost 170 views this week.
Yeah, mine only got about 150. But like I said, I've got this. There's this other geezer that I watch.
Yeah.
A couple of them that I watch, and so he used to get similar numbers as me in views. I used to get over 1,000 views on the Star Trek review, and now same with him and a couple of others. They've just dipped off to this number that we're getting now, which I think is indicative of the interest that people have got, unfortunately. But there we go. Sexy Monkey said he's glad that he joined the stream. So am I. Thank you very much.
So am I.
So Ian, what about yourself? What have you got going on this week?
Today I've got a Jack Palance film, Craze. It's a sort of horror thing. It's one that Tony sent to me, and it's a fantastic film. It's daft. Tomorrow is Carry On Day, so I'm going through all the Carry On films, and tomorrow it is Carry On Screaming, which is considered one of the great Carry On films. That's out tomorrow. I've been getting good views as well on some of Carry On films, which is quite amazing. There's still a lot of love for Carry On films. And then I'll just one more. Tuesday, it is a Doctor Who classic review of Terror of the Zygons.
Nice.
I think I've seen that
story.
one.
It's the first.
I'm not 100% sure.
It's the very first Zygon story, and there wasn't one until we had the 12th Doctor meeting them. Well, I never thought we'd ever.
It was actually the 50th anniversary when they last showed up.
But fantastic. Anyhow, that's this week's classic, and then there's a few more things. Well, some every day. I try and do some every day now.
Yeah, cool. I just checked. Tomorrow I have my Star Trek 09 review. Wednesday I have the last tales from my backlog for this month, and that is for the first Terminator movie.
The best.
Well, you're just gonna have to wait until Wednesday to see. But then on Friday, I have my Doctor Who Series 6 full series review, where I went in not liking this series, and maybe my opinions have changed on this series. I have to wait until Friday to find out.
Cool.
I've just got Terror of the Zygons is important because it's really the very last story that we see Unit. The fourth Doctor is now fully on his own, and it's kind of a farewell almost of a Unit. Benson and the Brigadier don't appear again until the fifth Doctor, Mordred Undead, after this story. So it's an important story. Yeah,
that's great. That's superb. So we're going to end it there. The last message is from Sexy Monk again. He said he used to do unboxing videos, but stopped because, well, there are others that do it more professionally than I can. Oh, that's a shame, though. I wouldn't worry about how to do it.
Just be enthusiastic. It doesn't matter, does it? Just be enthusiastic. Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me on, AJ.
Yeah. Thank you. It was last minute. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been great.
I've enjoyed the past 3 hours the same way I enjoyed beating you on Wednesday in that Star Trek quiz.
Well, I had to let you win.
Sure you did. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Well, we know that I'm not as geeky as you with Star Trek. I'm just more of a casual viewer now than a know-it-all nerd. So, there we go. I've forgotten more than what you'll ever know.
Yeah,
true.
You've just
probably true.
Michael, you're just so out geek everybody. I can't cope. I can't keep up with all these starships. My mind just goes.
Okay, so I'll say see you later to everyone, because I'm going to end now because the wife's home and I'm in trouble for my girlfriend.
You're in trouble. Trouble uphill. Trouble uphill.
Yeah, as I said, AJ, you're not going to live that one down anytime soon.
Right. Take it easy. See you later all.
See